There we go. I tap into the game properly. Look, it's a jellyfish. How amazing. What a world. Excellent connection. Maybe the stream will work properly for once because there's no one else using my internet connection because my brother's on vacation. And therefore I'm all alone in the house and no one else can use my internet for my streaming purposes. Clearly this means it'll be the best stream ever. Probably not, but you know, I don't know. I have nothing planned. The title for this stream was not a lie. I have nothing planned for this stream. So I was like, I don't have a plan. What do I do for a thumbnail, even though I'm still going to stream? And my inclination most recently has been, if I don't have anything specific planned, I just don't stream, right? Because that's just kind of how YouTube be. If you're streaming on YouTube, if you're making a video on YouTube at all, whether it be a stream or otherwise, you should have like some kind of basic specific idea in mind. At least for like the start of it. And I have nothing. I have literally nothing. So, hello to peoples in chat. That means we have nothing planned. We're gonna do dailies, and then we'll on all the accounts. Hello, child. We're gonna do dailies on all the accounts, and then I don't know. We'll have rambly things that I always do, and we'll go from there. Basically, I don't know. I think I have. I have some things to talk about with like 4.1 or whatever that I've kind of talked about before, but I don't know. I have decided some things more solidly now. Oh, I reached AR60. Yay! I could have like. I did record something for it. I recorded a joke clip of being of when I got it, but like, I was like, this isn't meaningful content. I could like turn it into a garbage short, and that was basically it. Oh, right there. So, anyways, hello. Is a Genshin stream. Look, we're underwater. I need to take a drink of water. I didn't clear the gunk out of my throat. Or throat? Mouth. There's still like, you know, remnant food bitties in my like between my cheek and like my teeth and like my gums that I can feel, and I want to wash them out. So anyways, I'm gonna mute myself for a second. Did it work? It didn't work. Why does the mute button not work? Why is my what? Does the bleep? Yeah, the bleep button works. Okay. Okay. Well, whatever. I guess I'm not muting. You get to hear the sound of water. There you go. All right. Well, sorry. I tried to mute, but yeah, blame Go XLR. I guess the mute button doesn't work. I couldn't tell you why. Is what it is. I could have used the OBS mute button, but then I have to like Alt-Tab and go into a different piece of software, and then, you know, it's just more annoying. I didn't expect to reach that so quickly. The mute button does not exist, indeed. I turned the music up a little bit in-game, by the way. Hopefully it's fine. Let me know if it's too loud. I like having the music a little bit louder, particularly in Fontaine. It's a nice vibe, honestly. As far as like the ambient on it, Fontaine doesn't have like the banger tracks like what's it called did to me, like Port Ormos in Sumeru, but it's like ambient vibing tracks are better, I would say. So yeah, that's all. Oh really? Blam. There we go. Difficult commission. I don't know if I can handle that one. Can I teleport in here? Bring. Okay. Well, I pulled from newbie. Ah, yes. So yeah, I mentioned slightly before. I'm pretty solidly decided on I am going to pull for newbie at this point. I don't know if I'm going to try to go for his weapon or not. We'll see. I think I will enjoy newbie, and he's a Hydro, so he has like enough team flexibility and different options that are interesting to work around him. And the way his kit works, he's relatively flexible with like swapping characters in between his charge attacks thing, which I think is for him being an on-field unit who does all its elemental application on-field, is a very good mitigation of trying to balance like the strengths of him applying a bunch of on-field damage, but also needing his Hydra application for enabling other things. But you can swap out to be able to like reuse your Kazuha skill or your Bennett. Well, Bennett's a weird example. Whatever, right? You get the point. So I think Nuvi seems like he's really fun. I was considering doing my gimmick idea of it's like, oh, you know what? I need to do fishing. Someone jokingly asked about fishing earlier, and I am gonna do fishing because I need these blue things, if I recall. Soul and Nuvi would be like best friends. They both like water. Exactly. There you go. That's the reason I'm pulling from Nuvi. Oh, there. If you truly have nothing to do, you can read Rex Incognito, a book in game, if you would like. Whoa, what the frick? Why did it suddenly speed up? What is happening? Is that just what these fish are like? I feel like I've caught a couple of them before, but I don't recall this. But maybe it was like this, and I just don't recall because my memory is memory, and it doesn't function properly. All right, a fish. Yay! I don't remember what the other fish are that I need for the pole, or the pipe. Sorry, and therefore I'm just gonna grab the blue fish because I know those are the rare ones, if I recall, the Inazuma purple equivalents. Well, I'd be doing viewer summons. I didn't. I always feel weird doing viewer summons because, like, on a base level, I think it's. I don't want to like necessarily normalize more sharing account info. Really? Why? How did that count as scaring you? What was it saying? Oh, so I don't know if. Let me know on the Discord. You know, if you are interested in doing. If you want to have me do viewer summons for you, ping me on the Discord, or not. Don't ping me. Message me specifically on Discord. But well, why? I freaking fishing. I hate it. What's it saying? Oh yeah, I don't know. Message me on Discord and we can talk. If enough people ask, like at least 3 or 4, I'll maybe consider doing it. But we'll see. Can you stop having that? Doesn't when they have the bubbles? No, we made the bubbles are just always there. Okay. That when they had the bubbles, for some reason, that meant they were still like scared, but I think he wasn't scared. Okay. So Noodle, yes. Viewer summons hard maybe. Message me if you want. Anyone else watching, message me. Is a fishing weapon worth for any character? It's got a whole whack ton of energy recharge at a baseline like minimum, which is. Just say that for like someone like Shincho, for example, it's like a good option if you don't have Fav at a baseline, which in my opinion is a fairly favorable comparison. Like, being a bad Fav is still a fairly potentially universal weapon. Like, energy recharge is the best stat in the game. Where is the fishing lady? We'll go do this daily first, and then I'll go find the fishing lady. And I'll look at the exact stats, because I can't remember it off the top of my head, but it gives a bunch of skill damage, right? And then it gives a whack ton of ER. And that's basically all it comes down to. And the skill damage part of it is not super useful on many characters, but the ER is. ER, if you look at any proper guide for any character build in this game, the #1 requirement for your crit stats before any other stat is, generally speaking, hitting ER. Any ER requirements, any ER thresholds, and it varies by your team. You know, there are certainly some characters that can get away with very little to even potentially no ER, but by and large, most characters have some amount of ER needs, and a weapon that gives, a sword that gives 72% energy recharge is a pretty decent sword. Also, it's funny looking, it's a pipe, so, you know, I can go over it a little bit more in detail, but if I recall, it gives like, at R5 it's like 16% skill damage and like a total of 70% energy recharge functionally. Potentially will be a good option for Furina. It depends how heavy her energy needs are. But there's a good chance Furina will have team configurations where she's the only Hydro, and we don't know her particle generation, blah, 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 blah. So we don't know. But if she's at all energy heavy, right, and she's like deals with damage based on skills, like it's going to be a decent option for her, right, as a accessible, easy to acquire option. So, yeah. Let's go look at it quick. I think it's. Yeah, it's over. Ooh, that's an awkward. Go over here. I don't know. I like the pole or the pipe. I keep calling it the pole. And as all there is to it, it's nothing crazy, to be clear. But it's certainly better than the freaking fishbow that they released in Sumeru. That was that weapon is truly something. So, Wolf's Greystone better for Feminine or Star Tomb? Almost assuredly Wolf's Greystone. I cannot remember exactly how Wolf's Greystone stats work, but I know Snow Tomb Star Silver's not that good. So, like, it's not even that good on Eula. Like, Eula, the 3-star physical Claymore is better on Eula, if I recall, than the, the Snow Tomb Claymore. So yeah, no, I can't even. Hey, look, I have enough. Oh, I need all of these. Okay, so yay. Yeah, I need a whole lot of fish. A whole lot of fish. All the fish. Okay. It looks like the gear things are not even that hard to acquire. I'm guessing that spot over there might be the only spot if it's anything like the other regions. So now I just need to collect all the heart-shaped fish and then whatever the frick these are. Yeah, increases skill crit rate by 8%. Or did I say skill damage? Yeah, skill crit rate by 8%, which that's 16% at R5, and then increases ER for 32% for 5 seconds by 32% for 5 seconds after using elemental skill. The notable thing with that is like, so this is like 45% energy recharge at level 90 if I recall, and then the additional 32 ER. Functionally, you can consider that always an additional 32% ER, specifically for characters who generate energy right after you use their skill, right? So, for characters like Kokomi can't use a sword, obviously, but that weapon is better for the energy recharge in its passive is only relevant to particles that get generated basically right after the skill is generated. If it's a character like Kokomi who places a thing down and then Kokomi generates a particle every time like the jellyfish hits an enemy, that means after 5 seconds you don't get the bonus energy recharge, meaning the particles you pick up after, you know, the thing is on field for a little bit aren't affected. And that makes, you know, that weapon potentially worse on certain units, to be clear. But in general, that weapon I think is relevant, and Furina may or may not make him more relevant. Who knows? We'll see. We don't know yet. We'll see soon. Like, we should see next week how relevant it is. I like it. It's a decent option. Yeah, Wolf's Greystone should always be better just because of the base stats. The attack is good. It affects both his cryo damage and his whatever damage. And there's another Dahlia over here. And it has 5-star base stats, and the passive I think is not useless on Fremina, I'd assume. So yeah, I can't fathom that Wolf's Greystone would be worse than Snow Tomb, whatever the frick it is. What is it called? Oh, I forgot to switch. Oh, that's funny. I forgot to switch Dia's weapon to Skyward Pride when I used Monopyro Dia in my Kokomi video. So I made Monopyro Dia even worse. You know, I think. Oh, you know what? I think I did realize that. I just didn't comment on it in the video. But because I noticed, I was like, wait, I got a skill reset. She has Great Sword. But anyways, Snow 2, that's sacrificial. Do I not have it? I thought I had it. No. Can't you pick this? Can't you pick a Snow Tomb Star Silver up for free somewhere? Why do I not have it? I'm like 90% certain I have gone to the Dragon Spine area where the Snow Tomb Star, or is it a craftable? I don't remember. Either way. Like, I believe this weapon as a physical damage bonus weapon is actually better for the Eula. So, and it's probably better for Freminet as well. So, yeah, but Wolf's Greystone, if you have it, is probably better. And so is Skyward Pride. Yeah. Anyways. Any thoughts on Rio? I thought he was going to be Standard Bender. I didn't realize his passive. He's basically not functional. His passive doesn't do anything at C0. Or it doesn't function properly at C0 because you can't keep it up. Because he drained, my understanding, if I recall. This is not something I realized initially when I was trying to evaluate my opinion on him. I originally had a fairly decent opinion of him, even if he wasn't that strong as far as like damage multipliers go. I had a fairly decent opinion of him as like a interesting, fun melee, you know, as far as like stylistically a melee damage dealer in Genshin. And unfortunately, the main problem is his passive that gives him bonus charge attack damage, if I recall. It's only like once every 5 seconds even, which is like 2 charge attacks per rotation. It gives you like a free charge attack that doesn't use stamina, if I recall. Requires him to be at like HP thresholds that like he doesn't stay at, because he cannot heal himself enough to keep him at that threshold, and if I recall correctly. So don't quote me on this. I'm not super familiar with it. But my understanding is, right, he drains more HP basically than he can gain back on his own, which means you need to play a healer with him, and if you're playing a healer with him, you're putting him past the threshold where he would trigger his passive. So that functionally means that C0, like without C1, where it, like actually, like C1 should have been his base kit basically. Why did I go here? I swear to God, my brain goes to this crafting table all the time when I mean to go and claim dailies here. So Rio is Risley, whatever however you are supposed to pronounce it, I don't remember. Like his C1 being necessary, like to make his passive relevant, and for him to be like a more functionally designed unit, it would have explained it if he was a standard banner unit, and I think he would have been a decent standard banner unit because he wouldn't have been terrible, but he wouldn't have been amazing, right? I think he was a good balance for being a standard banner unit, and instead he's limited. So he went from someone I was like, hey, it'd be really cool to mess with him if I, like, he'd actually be a cryo character I'd have fun to mess with if he was on standard banner, and because I'd have a chance of losing a 50-50 to him eventually. And having more units in the standard pool that are like, if not good, at least interesting mechanically to mess with, and they would have been cool. And he's not. He's a limited 5-star, which I think makes him kind of garbage, in my opinion. Like he's one of the worst examples. Assuming I'm not wrong in my understanding of the issue with his passive basically not functioning. I think Rio is basically one of the worst examples of a constellation on a 5-star limited character. Basically, just like it's just an example of like Candace was designed with C6 in mind, and they just stripped her down. like Candace needs her C1 as well, but she's a limited 4-star, or sorry, she's a non-limited 4-star, right? And Rio basically needs his C1 and for him to like function as he seems to have been designed to function. But he's a limited 5-star, so that's super lame. And anyways, give characters those claymores that are holding level 1 weapons. Give who claymores? What do you mean? So I don't know. Yeah, seeing Rio Thisley in comparison to like Nubilet is really weird. Like they clearly had a favorite this patch, and it wasn't Rio Thisley. I should switch to Yelan for this domain because my Yelan, we'll do at least one run with Crit Kokomi here, and then I'm probably never gonna use Crit Kokomi again. Crit Kokomi is a fun meme option. It's more of a real thing. I mean, this is the conclusion of today's video. Crit Kokomi is more of a real thing than it used to be, than it ever used to be. But it's still a meme option, and that's all it comes down to. It's just a fun, goofy thing that you can do in the game, which I like. That's all. That's all the video is meant to be. If you're gonna have fun with silly things in Genshin, that's one of the best parts about Genshin. I did not place her skill down because I'm an idiot. I really need to, if you're going to do this team properly, you really want to place your skill down before you do things like Kazuha ult and Nahida ult, because it's a lot of like virgin damage and extra damage that can happen while ult animations are happening. But I forgot, so here we go. Oh well. Can you stop being annoying? There we go. There's Crit Kokomi for you. Took a whole minute. That was way too long, but I'm not used to clearing this domain with this team. This domain is weirdly annoying to clear, in my opinion. And sure, we'll try it. But yeah, anyways. You think the Hoyoverse did Eula dirty by making Freminette? I mean, Freminette is way more mechanically interesting of a physical damage dealing character, so no, because the things that make Freminette interesting, I think, don't necessarily, I don't know. As far as like the base idea of like a physical damage dealing character that has to do normal attacks to do physical damage, Eula's like got the nuke potential, right? And she does the backloaded damage, right? And I think playing Eula is probably harder than playing Freminette, but I know I would enjoy playing Feminine a lot more than Eula. So, take that for what it's worth. How much do you like the newest Archon quest? Newest Archon quest I thought was overall really good. It had probably the strongest start to any Archon quest ever. I'm not gonna discuss specifics just in case anyone hasn't like read it or whatever. Played it. I mean, yeah, it kind of is reading it, let's be real. But anyways, the part 1 with the whole like Ace Attorney thing was really fun. Part 2 felt more like setup for the future a bit, but it was fine. I would say overall, it was definitely enjoyable. It felt part 2 was weird because it was like, here's a Navia story quest, and it was like, oh, okay, sure. I'm not against the idea. It was interesting to go in that direction, but it was a little bit of an odd direction to go into. But it patched together the first part well enough, and then obviously is setting up things for the next patch here that will see the continuation of the story, I should say, in a couple days. So yeah, I don't know. I missed. Oh no, I didn't miss. Okay. I have been using C6 Elan here. Wow, I've been getting value out of C6 Elan just to save like 2 seconds in clearing this domain. Woo! It's so exciting. Blam. Nice thing about Frem is C6 Bennett can't override the Pers attack. I don't know what Pers attack is an abbreviation for, but Sylveon is definitely the resident Frem enjoyer. So, anyways, we found the Fontaine quest the most engaging Sumeru, which is just confusing, especially the loop. I thought the loop was amazing. It was supposed to be confusing, and confusing is not necessarily a narrative bad thing. It just means you have to make sense of it. So, it, like, confusing implies to me that, like, I don't know. It's weird. Like, personal preferences. I really liked the first part of the Sumeru quest was pretty bad, and then the time loop stuff in the Sumeru quest was really, really good in my opinion. And then everything after was like pretty decent. It was like okay. Definitely keep artifacts like these. This is a 4-lane with crit damage. That like, there's situations where you might not need the crit rate, and this rolls 30%, 40% is even possible, right? On crit damage, and it has some EM. Like that could be a very, very good artifact on this set when it's possible you might not even need the crit rate. So would it be better if I had crit rate to even it out a little bit, or whatever other stats? Yeah, sure, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. You deal with what you got, and this is something that could be really good. So just a reminder, evaluating artifacts properly. I just need circlets, by the way. Like I got this week, and it's like, it was sad because it's the first crit circlet, double crit circlet I've gotten in Golden Troop. And what's funny is Official. So Official on her 2-piece build right now. So she's on 2-piece Golden Troop. I also, I think early this week I got this feather, so I finally got a decent feather. Well, not just decent, a really good feather, which I was very happy about. This is a 40 CV with an extra attack percent. Obviously, it's very, very good. It took me forever to get a decent feather. I also got this weird piece, which is probably a Furina piece. This is a 4-line, and it's like 25 CV on a 4-line, and it has 21% HP. HP scaling characters tend to really like HP percent. Like when I have calced it, HP percent has a high roll. So like for Yelan, right? So with someone like Yelan, when I calced it, a high roll of HP percent, or sorry, specifically a max roll of HP percent, on most builds that I was like testing on, and I have verified this multiple times with different types of builds with different amounts of crit rate as far as like average damage goes. A max roll of HP percent is better than a minimum roll of crit damage, right? And then it is the same value as a low roll of crit damage, and then right, and then if we're talking lower rolls of HP percent, then it's like less likely. So crit damage on average is a higher value roll than HP percent, but it's so close in value that, in my opinion, you can basically treat it the same. You can treat HP percent the same as crit rolls for HP scaling characters that want to crit, to be clear, and deal a meaningful amount of damage when they crit. So, yeah. So that it was. This is potentially a disgustingly cracked artifact, but niche is all it is. Yeah, I can't get circlets. I got this circlet, and the weird thing is, Official if I put Fischl on 4-piece troop, so right now I have her on 2-piece, 2-piece, and this is a really strong 2-piece, 2-piece build. Like 83.1 to 09 is a really strong ratio. And that's 2-piece Thundering Fury, 2-piece Golden Troop with this absolutely disgusting off-piece flower. If I switch to Onset Flower and then this Copium Circlet, her ratio becomes way worse. I go from 83% to 67% crit rate, and I gain a negligible amount of crit damage, right? The funny thing is, this set is so freaking good for Fischl. This is actually an improvement. I somehow lost like 16% crit rate, which is a lot. That's a lot of crit value to lose. Like, that's a lot of... Your average damage goes way down by losing that much crit rate. But this set is so much better for Fischl that it's still an upgrade for her, technically. I'm just not going to use it right now because I'm annoyed by the fact that it's 67%. My bar of, like, I'm happy on, like, how a character feels level if they have 70% crit rate, which is particularly annoying because, I mean, it means I would have stuck with this build if there was literally a single crit rate roll in this artifact. And then she would have been at, you know, a single 3% crit rate roll and would have had to been not minimum roll, I guess. Single crit rate roll would have put her at 70% and I would have been happy. But for now, I'm actually sticking to my other set because I don't like it. I don't like the idea of 67% crit rate. It just annoys me too much, and it doesn't matter that much, so I'm sticking with this. The difference between my 2-piece combo and that 4-piece combo is like a very negligible amount of damage. Like on Akasha, it was the difference between top 3% and top 2% Fischl, and we're talking like 20,000 damage for like per rotation calculation. Not nothing, but not that significant when my Fischl is already in the upper echelons of like the top percentages of Fischls. It doesn't actually matter, is my point. So, any chance of HSR in the stream? Yes, I will do HSR in probably when I'm done with Genshin, which is to say, I don't know when. I don't know how much Genshin we're gonna do today. I might return to my main account to do fishing. I don't know. I kind of want to do fishing now that actually, yeah, I don't think I actually want to do fishing. I lied. Do I have any artifacts to level up? I think I have this one. Level up this one. I have a whole bunch of these I need to level up eventually, soon. TM. And then, oh yeah, we got those I'm not going to bother with, but surely this is double crit, right? Right. Blam. Overall, I can't complain about my luck in this domain, by the way. Like, for having spent... I've spent the entire patch's worth of resin in this domain, by the way. Literally the entire patch's worth of resin. I don't think I've spent a single resin outside of this domain. But that said, like, so it's a lot of resin, right? Like, what is that? That's... And I have spent, like, fragile resin, so even though the patch isn't quite over, we'll just say as 160 times... What are 6 weeks? 6 weeks times 7 is 42 days times 160. That's 6,700 resin. For the artifacts I've gotten out of like 7,000 resin, and it might be a little bit more of that with fragiles that I've spent. I've gotten very lucky in my opinion. Like, I haven't gotten amazing I haven't gotten anything super crazy. But like, this is insanely good. This is better than a 40 CV attack percent piece without EM. And I actually have 2 attack percent 35 CV pieces. This one has a little bit more crit damage and it has ER. So for a character that doesn't care about EM and wants the ER, that could be better. And then I have this HP timepiece, which is a more niche one, but like for someone like my Yelan, if I so close, I'm so close to be able to use this set on Yelan. For someone like my Yelan, that's actually amazing for me. And no real goblet luck, and my flower luck is weirdly bad for this set, the Golden Troop set, but I have good luck in Marshal Say, and I've gotten crap circlet luck and not much for goblets. But all things considered, for 7,000 resin, I've gotten much better artifacts than I would have expected, so I can't complain all that much. Wasn't I going to level up something? I don't remember. Let's see. No. Oh yeah, we got that attack timepiece. You know what? Here's a lesson in... Wait, I feel like I should level up something else. Other than that attack timepiece. Oh, you know what I should do? I should level up. Where is... I have this HP goblet and I have this HP goblet. We're going to level up these because these could be onset goblets for newbie. If they rolled well enough, they could absolutely... My brother, he rolled, before he went on vacation, my brother rolled an HP double crit goblet. He's going to try to get newbie, and it rolled 40 CV with like 28 crit damage, and I was like, well... And it had ER on it, and I was like, well, you're probably using an HP goblet, because HP goblet is going to be close. It's probably going to be a similar situation to Yelan, right? Where HP goblet is worse than a Hydro goblet, stat for stat, technically. Where did the other one go? There it is. But, and this doesn't necessarily, this one has crit damage, which is more important to me than crit rate. Substantially so, actually. And, okay, I would have really liked ER or something. ER actually probably would have been the best line there. Flat attack, definitely not good. I don't like this piece, but I'm going to try it, because legitimately, if it rolls entirely into crit, could be actually an amazing option. But point is, if you have something that's really high in stat value in an HP goblet compared to not as high in stat value for an Hydro goblet, of course you did. I mean, that's fine, it's good. I honestly would have preferred not crit damage, so I could throw it away. If you get, you know, like my brother, at 28 crit damage with 6.6% crit rate and ER on an HP goblet, and then your other best Hydro goblet is something like, you know, this for newbie, when my situation for newbie is I don't really need the crit rate on the Hydro goblet, I just care about crit damage. Actually, no, I'd probably end up using Xingqiu's Hydro goblet, this goblet, on my newbie, which is like, it's a relatable goblet. It's not horrible, but it's nothing special, right? And point is, if you get an onset goblet in particular, that's HP, enables an off piece, and has the stats you want, but is just like a little bit worse than the Hydro goblet, it's definitely a very, very good option. That's my point. Am I ever going to see 6 or 5 star character again? I honestly doubt it. Yeah, I don't know. I just like, even a character I really, really like, the one I probably would have said I'd be most interested in is C6. What's his bucket? What can okay, this could be theoretically this could still be 30 crit damage. Should I bother? Do I even bother? Can I even get it to level 16? Nope. Okay, trash. Alright, that's fine. What was I saying? Yeah, the thing with C6 and characters, it's just like unnecessary. That's the whole thing I was trying to like say without saying it in my Yelan video. And I'm probably gonna do a follow-up video later. But anyways, C6 Kazuha is interesting as a character that doesn't like. Wow. Alright. Still, you keep those artifacts. To try them. See, look, it rolled entirely into flat defense. Just imagine if instead of rolling flat defense, those were all crit damage rolls. This thing would already have 28 crit damage at level 14, and it'd be like, whoa. But instead it rolled defense, so you know, it's just it is what it is. That's funny. But anyways, let's, I don't know, level up this. I really would like this to roll a crit on the last line. Please. Yas, thank you. Would have really preferred crit damage, but it's fine. Alright, beautiful. Got some low rolls there, but hey, now I got options, right? This is a goofy high-end EM piece without crit rate, but it's very good. This piece is just okay crit value. Hey, maybe there'll be a defense skill once in the future. And then this has an HP percent, which is nice, and high CV. And then this is okay CV. This is just under 30, but with 3 extra ER rolls makes this really good for someone that needs the ER. This is amazing. A really, really, really good flower. So I am happy with that. That's a dub. So we'll take it. All right. Yeah, C6 Shenhe is interesting. Yeah, Kazuha C6. It gives them an Anemo Infusion, and also, more notably, the more interesting thing than just the Anemo Infusion is the fact that it also gives him even more like damage scaling based on Elemental Mastery. And there's a theory crafter named Binge on my Discord server that I talked to him for like hours, and he showed me a bunch of things with C6 Kazuha. And it's an interesting example of one that's like, it's not like C6 Yulan where it's just like, Yulan is already so strong, and then making her constellations, making her ridiculously stronger, just makes the game boring. This is more one of those constellations that doesn't like, oh my god, it's so strong that it just like, even though Kazuha is a strong character, it doesn't necessarily synergize with Kazuha's base kit in such a way that's like, oh my god, Kazuha is suddenly broken, like he was already broken, right? Like it doesn't fundamentally change how he's broken, right? It just enables a new kind of interesting way to use him. But the thing is, the ways that like Binge, the theory crafter, was showing me how he uses C6 Kazuha, you can it more relied on using C6 Bennett than it did rely on using C6 Kazuha. I could have 95% of the experience of using Binge's C6 Kazuha using my C6 Bennett. I just don't see as big animo damage numbers, right? And like, yeah, so I don't know. C6 Shenhe is interesting. I don't have Shenhe on this count, but C6 Shenhe is interesting because, let's see if I can find her. And again, it's like, it's a rare one where it enables, can I click on it? There. When character triggers Icy Cool's effects using normal and charge attack damage, it does not trigger, count towards the trigger quota. So that's something like Rio Thistley, for example, right? The way that Shenhe works is she has these quota limits, which the quota limits is how many hits of another cryo teammate on your team. How many cryo hits can they do before they use up like Shenhe's buff? So Shenhe's buff only lasts for 5. If you do a press, only lasts for 5 hits. So you do a press on Shenhe. The next 5 cryo hits from any individual, it's the quota is unique to every individual cryo character. So if you have multiple cryo characters in your team, like say you have a Ganyu and an Ayaka, right? Each of them get their own quota limit, but only the next 5 instances of cryo damage count. Once you do those 5 hits, you'd have to use Shenhe's skill again to get any more trigger quotas. C6 makes it so that normal attacks and charge attacks don't count towards the trigger quota, which is really interesting, but I'm never going to commit to doing frickin' C6 Shenhe, especially on this account where I am, if you look at the characters I have leveled up, there's a lack of one particular element. There's Ganyu. Ganyu's honestly the only exception, but I don't really use her. She just, I have her leveled up because I used her very early on. She was the second limited 5-star I got. Right? Yeah, there's a little bit of a lack of cryo characters. That's why I would have liked like Rio Thistley to be standard bender, because he looked like an interesting cryo character to mess with. But anyways, so yeah, is weird. As far as other C6s, like I really like Yai Miko. I don't plan to get her C6 ever. Yes, Yai Miko C6 is strong. Like, whoa, ignore 60% of the opponent's defense. That's a big damage upgrade for Yai. But like, there's no reason I don't need it. Like, it doesn't change how Yai plays. It would just make things die faster. And I use Yai with consistency, and I went for Yai C2 because the range increase is actually interesting to me. Was it necessary? No, but I honestly find the range increase far more relevant and interesting than the damage upgrade for C2. And then C1 is just the scam constellation that was because she had a high energy cost. Hey, now she doesn't have a high energy cost, and you can actually use her burst every rotation. Who knew? I don't know. I don't know what to say about that other than like I really like Yai, but I see literally no reason. There's nothing in the game that motivates me to do it, even though Yai is like one of my favorite characters to use, and I like Yai is probably the most consistent character I use like every single abyss, in some form usually. And I really like playing with her, and I really like the nuance of being able to play her completely off-field or doing on-field with a little bit more charge attacks. That's how I've been playing her more recently, is playing her since I've leveled up Fischl. I only leveled up Fischl a few months ago. I've been playing Yai with Fischl a lot more, and doing more like on-field Yai normal charge attack focused damage, and that's been enjoyable to me. But like, there's nothing about C6 that changes anything, right? I don't need it. There's literally nothing in the game that justifies needing that. Like, it would only be like, I like Yai so much that I ever see, like, cool. Like, it's not, if you wanted to get enjoyment out of like doing that, I don't care. Your friggin' money, your resources, spend them how you want. But like, there's nothing in game that actually gives you a reason to get something like that. That's kind of all it comes down to. So I'm only really interested in constellations that mechanically do interesting things. C2 Nahid is a weird one where I find C2 Nahid is super fun, but I'd still probably turn it off most of the time for the sake of like my videos. Like I would have turned it off for my like testing Nilu with Crit Kokomi in my video that I posted the other day, if you haven't seen it, right? Where I was doing Crit Kokomi on these goofy artifacts, so literally having Kokomi on a DPS build instead of an EM focused build, which is stupid on a Nilu team. Like, it's definitely stupid. But the team still cleared literally without a problem, and Mono Pyro Dia was on the second side. And my Mono Pyro Dia team, like my Dia herself is quite strong. Like, my Dia is apparently a top 1% Dia on Akasha, and that was not on purpose. Like, this build is apparently top 1%. But like my Xiangling on Mono Pyro, which Xiangling is more important than days of damage. Like my Xiangling, it's like just not a bad Xiangling. It's a perfectly functional Xiangling, but like it's nothing special, right? So I don't know. I digress. I guess the point is like constellations are just like so very unnecessary most of the time, and they have to do something fun. So like C2 Nahida does something fun. So I don't regret having it in that sense. I regret how much I had to spend to get it, but just whatever. It was the best lesson I learned with C2 Nahida, honestly. Surprisingly, somehow I didn't learn my lesson with this. I learned my lesson with this. Anyways. Yeah, I don't know. That's all there is to it, so. Yarp. We're gonna do co-op? Probably not, because Genshin co-op hot trash. And, yarp. Yarp. That's all there is to it. Alright, I think I gotta switch to... Let me go on break quick. I'll scroll through chat. We're gonna go... By break, I mean... I'm gonna log in, I should say. Turtle. Log in to pole arms and weapons only. We gotta do some farming there. And then we might do HSR, or we might return my... No, god dang it. Freaking game. Then we might return to my main account to do something, maybe. We'll see. Maybe we'll do co-op. No promises, though. Absolutely no promises. Okay. Oops. No. Don't ban someone. I clicked on chat and I almost banned someone by accident. Alright, there we go. Logs. Oh my brain. Blam. There we go. Okay. Interesting, you're using the same two-piece combo on me as I've tested numerous combinations of artifacts, and I just like cannot get a better two-piece combo than that. It just gives too much stat value to Yai. The only thing I could theoretically do for Yai to improve her is like 4-piece of the skill damage set is theoretically good, but like I also really like using Yai on field with more like charge attack damage more. So sacrificing her on field damage and sacrificing her burst damage for like the 4-piece skill set is not necessarily a good decision. So I don't even think I'm going to do 4 pieces of the skill set on Yai. And 2-piece for what I have right now in the skill set is not better, even though I have some... Actually, I didn't check 2-piece with the new feather and then the new timepiece. That might actually enable a new 2-piece combo that's slightly better on my Yai. But there's a good chance it's worse. And that's with a 35 CV plus 2 EM attack percent timepiece and a freaking 40 CV with attack percent flower or feather. Sorry, I legitimately, that's how good my Yai build is. That I think that's worse. The weird thing with Yai, right, is she has her passive that gives her with like the 2-piece set in particular of the skill damage set. Yai has her passive that gives like a percentage of elemental mastery based on EM. Which converts to 80 EM. It's a 12% skill damage bonus, right? So swapping, so the situation I was in is like I could lose the 2-piece EM, which is losing 80 EM for the 2-piece of the skill damage set. But because of her passive, functionally it's gaining 8% more skill damage bonus, which is not nothing, but it's not insane. And I'm losing 80 EM, right? For like aggravates. So yeah, it was just worse, basically. And I need like really, really good skill damage pieces to justify even a 2-piece. And I have really good skill damage pieces now, but I'd rather keep them on Fischl, because Fischl can get more direct value out of them than Yai. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Yai is interesting in her flexibility of 2-piece options for 2-piece attack, 2-piece electro, 2-piece EM. And then Gilded Dreams is still really good for her. I think I'd be more inclined to farm more Gilded Dreams on my main account maybe in the future to get like a really good set of Gilded Dreams for Yai. I have a couple decent pieces already, but it would take a whole lot of farming of Gilded Dreams to get a better Gilded Dream set than my 2-piece combos. So the only reason Gilded Dreams can be better is because it can give just a little bit more. Please. Oh my god, the reason I've been farming this freaking domain in polearms only for I don't know how. I've been farming it for a while now, and I've gotten nothing. Nothing meaning. I've gotten a extraordinarily minor, like, improved. Like, I got into Feather on Melt Rosaria that was, like, 1 stat better. Wee. The main reason I am farming is for EM main stat pieces with crit. That really needs to roll either ER or... okay, ER, attack percent, or ideally crit damage. Crit damage would be heavily preferred. Please, I have never even... That's the first one I've seen that even has a chance. Thanks. That's the first one that I please. Please. Isn't Gilded kind of inconsistent? Yeah, because she needs to... It depends. It's weird. I think if you're using her on-field more, like I have been recently, it doesn't really matter as much. But if you're using her mostly off-field, then yes. But anyway, Yai is... on Gilded Dreams is good. But it's not so good that, like, because of, like, what you mentioned there, the inconsistency is that there's a hit when you're using Gilded Dreams, right? Gilded Dreams, to trigger the 4-piece passive, you need to do a reaction first to trigger it, right? Which means that when the passive expires, you need to do a hit, you need to trigger a reaction that doesn't have all the stats that the 4-piece bonus gives you, which means there's a certain amount of hits from Yai that do not have the passive up, which is a loss in, like, you can't fully consider that all of Yai's damage always has the stats from 4-piece Gilded Dreams all the time. There's a certain number of hits that you would want to have those stats on, like you would want the extra EM and attack from Gilded Dreams 4-piece that you just don't have. So yes, it is inconsistent in that sense. But I'd say the number of stats it still gives is better. That, like, if I had a equivalent 2-piece set, equivalent 4-piece Gilded Dreams to my 2-piece combo, it's absolutely better. The problem is it's a 4-piece set, and getting a 4-piece set to have better stats than my 2-piece combos on Yai is really hard. Or to have equivalent, right? To the point that's just, like, not worth it, right? So, anywho's, 10 euros if it rolls. Alright. Alright, please. Oh, please, spare me. I want to leave Gilded Dreams, because, like, this is... I want to start, like, farming more, like, Blizzard Stray artifacts so I can get, like, better Blizzard pieces than, like, mostly Blizzard Time pieces. Honestly, my Blizzard pieces are quite good on this account for like, Freeze Rosaria, but, like, what I really want is just... I just want a double crit EM. Please. 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 Please spare me. The worst part is even if it does, it still has to roll well. Please? Oh. Okay. Okay. That was an artifact. I am suddenly not enthused. We're gonna level it up. Well, okay. I was gonna say we're gonna level it up because if it rolls basically entirely into crit, it's actually still good. Now it cannot be that good. Could have at least rolled flat attack too, you know, game. I did. Why? Like, look at all these attack time pieces, man. I've gotten so many. Also, I've gotten so many freaking. In trying to get an EM double crit piece in this freaking domain, I've gotten so many attack percent time pieces. So freaking many. And I'm not kidding. I've gotten, I think, at least 8 double crit attack percent time pieces, and this one are the best ones I've gotten. I'm not kidding. That's like, okay. And then this one is actually the best one I've gotten. It has the highest stat value because it was a 4 line, but it had 1 bad line And like, yeah, this was so close to being just objectively better. It still is technically probably better as far as average damage goes, but losing the crit rate makes Rosaria's crit balance because you get even more out of whack. So it's I don't use it basically. Normally I use this piece on Melt Rosaria. So just like I've gotten so many attack percent type pieces and I still can't even get an upgrade for those. It's just those are pounds, not euros. My bad. The font was small. Okay, that's how the issue happened. I'm definitely not ignorant. No, I think if I looked closer, I would have brained better and been like, yeah, that's pounds. I do recognize that the euro symbol is the how do I describe the difference? I guess it's the curvy bottom rather than like the flat bottom. We'll give you one more chance. You high roll into crit rate. Bye bye. Well, 2 months, man. I think I've spent over 2 months of resin in this domain at this point. Since not even in, I've spent over 2 months of resin in general in this domain, to be clear. But 2 months in this domain since I decided to come back to it to try to get a double crit EM timepiece. Or not even necessarily double crit. It could be like a 3-line timepiece that has EM, attack percent, crit rate, ER is about as good as a double crit piece. Like that would be something I'd be more than happy with. This was the closest I've gotten in 2 months. Well, didn't I get some other piece? What was it? Oh, a feather without... Okay. I don't think this can be better. The reason this can't be better... This is a 4-line, right? Okay. No. Okay. Sorry. Asterisk. It can be better if it entirely rolls into crit. The problem is I have a 40 CV plus an extra EM roll. This is a 3-line. This is a 4-line that had 1 bad roll, right? So, anyways, if this rolls entirely into crit, it has the same amount of stat value. But entirely into crit would be slightly better than this with the EM rolls, particularly with high rolls. So there is a chance. There is a very minor chance that this is an upgrade for Rosaria. A very minor one. Who knows? But probably not. Yep, no. Okay, rip. Bye. You know what, fine. I was gonna say bye, but for the funsies, we'll level her up to 12 to max roll or bust. You're trash canning every now max roll. All right, bye. Exciting. Yeah. Oh, that one hurts so much, man. Oh, you know what? I kind of want. This is some coat mentality. I should probably save my fragiles. I bought the battle pass on polearms only because I figured I'd want. Well, okay, I didn't figure I'd actually need it, but I figured I at least wanted this. This was an option, so I was like, yeah, I'll buy the battle pass. I don't need any other battle pass materials, so like I don't necessarily think it was worth it to do that. But I wanted it as an option. It's polearms only. It would feel kind of weird not to have it as an option when I already have, you know, a freaking R5 deathmatch. But I'm not even using R5 deathmatch. So yeah, I mean, I have more than the R5 deathmatch because I was buying battle passes on this account to be able to have the resources to level up characters, right? For like making videos and whatever. This thing I just don't have that much of a need for. I'd much rather have R5 of this than R5 of Deathmatch, but didn't exactly have a choice when this was the first patch we could get it. So I don't know, I'm not going to commit to R5 of it, but I bought 1 copy of it, which means I have like 10 fragile resin. That was a very long-winded way to say I have 10 fragile resin. And my brain is like, I got anti-dopamine from my sadness in that timepiece, and now I want dopamine. I want an actual artifact that could be good. So yes, is Gilded best set for Melt Rosaria? Not. With Staff of Scarlet Sands, 100% yes. Which is what I'm running. Without Staff of Scarlet Sands, I imagine it's a very good option, but two-piece combos might get pretty close, right? So it depends. Alright, well that was sad. Yeah. I don't think we got anything else, did we? Oh, Electro Goblet. Oh, exciting. All the Electro Goblets. Also, something that could free me as an alternative to, you know, getting an EM double crit timepiece is an onset. Like my goblet for, because I'm using Shenhe Rosaria, this is my Cryo Goblet. This is an extraordinarily good Cryo Goblet. It is very, very high stat value. But with Shenhe specifically, attack percent doesn't... You don't get any value. There's no synergy with attack percent. Attack percent only... The way that, like, Shenhe's buff is, like, added into the calculation for damage dealing is that attack percent doesn't matter. Crit does. So a crit damage percent, EM, all is like double dipping in Shenhe's buff. So attack percent is not ideal on a Cryo Goblet, so I could definitely get an on-set Cryo Goblet that's better too. That would enable me to use an off-piece, which would probably be this piece, right? And we're off to the races, but I haven't gotten that, so, you know, it's fine. It's fine. I'm just going to cope with the fact that, you know, we're going to pull for... Staff of Homa's coming back this week. I'm going to try to get a second Staff of Homa so I can actually try to use a Freeze Rosaria that gets big damage numbers. Because right now the main problem is I don't want to take Staff of Homa from Hu Tao, like, ever, because if I take Staff of Homa from Hu Tao's whole build becomes kind of cope. And I have to, like, reconfigure the build, and that's just awful and annoying, so I never want to take Staff of Homa from Hu Tao. Such a pretty polearm, indeed. Alright, so should I lost apparently 25% of my viewers are leveling up artifacts. No. That's fine. That's 25% of people that probably don't know how to properly evaluate artifacts, so they can have fun. I don't I don't feel bad insulting the people that left. Yeah. Just to be clear, people can leave for whatever reason they want. It's just like, I don't understand why listening to me talk about something that's like very relevant for enjoying this game properly for 10 minutes straight is less interesting than me doing dailies and rambling about Nubilat or whatever. I don't know. Nubilat's more on topic, I guess, to be clear. But this is funny. I'm hoping 50 pounds with top-up bonus will get me Homa. Sylveon, stop spending this much money. They don't deserve that much money. You're the reason they're never going to fix the 4-star system. I don't know. I could absolutely justify, like, on a content creation and business level to, like, spend more money in Genshin, get more characters just to mess with. I just don't, because I don't want to support their shitty business model. And, like, I gotta literally put my money where my mouth is and not do things like spending money, even if it's for content necessarily. I still, to be clear, not like going to say I'm never going to spend money for content, because sometimes it just might be necessary if I need to get a certain character that I seem like I'm going to enjoy, right? But I'm not going to do things like, because what I could do, right, if I was, I'd really like to have Freminet, for example, for just messing. This is not on this account, but I'd really like to have Freminet on my main account, and I could just use my guarantee, and having to potentially spend a lot of wishes to get Nubilet, and potentially would cause me to have to end up spending money to get Furina, right? I could do that, and I could just be like, whatever, it's for content, it's just a business cost, so I could rationalize it that way, right? But that rewards their shitty business model, and I don't like rewarding their shitty business model. Like, it means they won, so I protest by not spending that money in that way. So please, please, please do this with Sucrose. Do what with Sucrose? Do what with Sucrose? What? Sorry, what are you talking about? I'm confused. What's your comment mean? Oh boy, I have no idea how to pronounce your name. Your name looks wildly cool as far as spelling goes. I have no freaking idea how to spell it. Also, I'm having a warning from YouTube. Why do I have a warning from YouTube? Is my stream dead? Is that what's happening? What's happening? Let me check my dashboard. Give me a second. Stream's bitrate is low. I don't know why YouTube is saying that, because YouTube is saying it's only getting 3,000 kills per second. I am streaming at 7,000, and OBS says it's streaming at 7,000, so I don't know what to tell you. If the stream is lowered in quality, blame YouTube, not me, because my internet seems to be working fine, and OBS seems to be working fine. Normally, when my stream has issues, I see it in OBS. But for some reason, it's just happening on YouTube's end right now. Sucrose literally 2 shots that guy? Oh. No, I can't use Sucrose. This is polearms only. Yeah, I am literally not allowed to use anyone that's not a polearm character. So, yeah. There you go. Please tell me I have... Oh, thank God. Okay. Yes, I know, yeah, Golba Swirl, I think, if you do Golba Swirl on that dude, 2 shots it, which is satisfying. I've done it, I think, once or twice before. I love this commission. I hate that commission when I don't have Jade Parcels. Which is... sometimes. It depends on what account. On weapons only, where I usually do monster commissions as well, I tend to get that commission and be annoyed because I have not stockpiled Jade Parcels. So, yarp. You know what? For funsies, let's do. I should do emblem honestly, but where am I having? Where is it? I'm having a stroke. There it is. Blam. Let's get some wonderful, amazing, 10 out of 10 quality Blizzard Strayer artifacts. Yeah. 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 What was this? Crit damage with attack percent on Electro on a 4-line. I guess we'll lock it. Well, actually, no. I already have a 40 CV Electro Goblin. I don't need that freaking... No. Nope. Nope. Don't need it. I'd recommend keeping that, but this account has less characters available. I don't need that. So, alright. How many fragiles do I have? 12. No, I'm not going to. I'm going to save them. Every bone in my body wants to just be like, yeah, this stream is turning into we're farming, we're going to hope and pray for a double crit EM timepiece in Gilded. But no, because I'm planning to try to get another Staff of Homa, I should just save them for like Staff of Homa. Or a future character to just... If they ever release another polearm character again. It just seems like they freaking don't want to, but no well.
Thank you for...
Oh, sorry, I didn't know it was polearm account. Yeah, it's fine, it's fine. It's not your fault. I was just confused. Alright. If we get the commission weapons only today, maybe we'll do it in weapons only. Or I'll try. I'm not necessarily the greatest at global swirling consistently, so... Anyways, I think we're done on polearms only. Nothing exciting here. I could use this, but yeah. I will actually have a polearms only this video this weekend though. Sorry, next weekend, not this weekend. Because I'm gonna wish for Homa, so it's gonna be the return to polearms only for the first time in freaking forever. I'll be wishing for Staff of Homa, trying to get a second copy, and yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm not gonna necessarily spend all the like yeah, 40,000 seems like a lot, and it's more than enough to guarantee getting a Staff of Homa. But it can take like 180, 200 wishes to get Staff of Homa. I am not going to go 200 wishes in for Staff of Homa. It is not that worthwhile to have an extra copy. But we'll see. We'll see. Weapon Banner has been kind to me in the past and on polearms only. We'll see if it maintains. The original Humble Banner was not amazing for us, but it wasn't bad. At least when we lost the 50, or we lost the 25-75 for Homa, we got a Jade Spear, which made it much better. So, anyways, time for weapons only. Stream ends when Rosaria gets an upgrade. Well, then the stream's never ending. Yeah, I think as far as like polearm characters on the horizon, Cloud Retainer is really the only one that I'd say is really likely to be a polearm. I know some people are thinking, oh, she might be a bow character, whatever, but being that it's been a long time since there's been any polearm character in general, like a polearm 5-star. It's been a year now since we've had a polearm 5-star, Sino. And they like to release new characters of weapon types in relatively even distributions, relatively speaking. And how many do I craft? 2 of these, and then we're going to use that. Did we get the commission? No, we didn't. Sad. What was I saying? Oh, being that right, we've got, so in 4.0 so far, we've gotten a bow 5-star, 2 catalyst 5-stars, Furina is a sword, Navia we know is a claymore, Chlorinde we know is a sword. So as far as other 5-stars, Cloud Retainer, assuming she still is a 5-star that's coming out, has the most potential to be relevant for polearms only in the future, but who knows when she's coming. Point is, I should be relatively safe to at least... I should be relatively safe to at least waste... What is happening? That was very weird. Oh, I was frozen. Stop! God! I should be relatively safe to... I can finish my thoughts once in every century. To go at least into pity once for... Can you get away from this ice barrel, bro? Good lord. Why was it so annoying? Okay. What was this? Yeah, so I'll be fine. I'll be fine. We're gonna risk some on polearms only, even though it doesn't necessarily make that much sense. Because I want a Gamba. That's the gist of it. Only reason I've been using Hyper Bloom lately and overwhelming weapons only, by the way, is just because it's fine at doing overworld things relatively quickly, and then more importantly, it's the best team I can find to consistently clear the Thundering Fury domain, because we've been farming for Thundering Fury Bennett. That's the next video I plan on hopefully making soon, TM, on weapons only, but gotta get the artifacts for it. But yeah, so I don't know, I would be surprised, is my point, if Cloud Retainer wasn't polearm, because of a thematic level of like Shenhe's existence would imply that I feel like she'd use a polearm, and then more importantly, just the fact that they haven't had a polearm 5-star in forever. So I could foresee it. I'd be surprised if she was not a polearm. That's all it comes down to. Hello, butthole. Is there a character you don't like? Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, okay, there's a lot of characters I have many qualms with, nuances of how they're designed, to varying degrees. As far as characters I specifically don't like, that I don't plan to ever get because I just dislike them, one of them is Wander. I mean, like, there's a chance I actually eventually end up with Wander on my main account just because I, like, Farazan is really interesting as far as a character, and would be interesting to have at C6 in particular. And I'd enjoy using her, I feel like. But she's freaking tied to Wander banners, which sucks balls, so I don't know. I really hate him though. I do not like his playstyle. He's the character, by the way, and for context, he's the character I have played the most out of any character that I don't have, because my brother has him and really enjoys him. So I played Wander a whole bunch on my brother's account, both before and after he had Farazan C6. And I really dislike how he feels to play. I think he feels like actual garbage to play in general. And particularly in the context of the fact that I know I don't like shielders, right? And on top of that, I find him god-awful annoying. Like, I like having voice lines on. I actually accidentally had them off for my Kokomi video, but anyways, I like having voice lines on, and I hate that. Like, stop, bro. Like, it's awful. Like, it's so awful. Like, if Nuvilet, we don't know 100% that Nuvilet doesn't have a similar awful, awful line. Like when he's doing his, like if Nuvilet goes when he's doing his charge attack, I am not pulling for Nuvilet. But like, so anyways, yeah, I digress. Hopefully you enjoyed those sounds. I really dislike him. Another character I dislike, and this one is more a personality level, because like I really hate how they've characterized him on a level of I think he's actually a terrible person, but then they've tried to like write him as like, oh, he's just a nice family. I've ranted about this before, to be clear. He's just a nice family boy. Oh, no, no, you. This dude's basically Hitler. I'm sorry. Fuck off. He also is like a kit that's not that interesting to me. I don't like his stance cooldown. Is like ridiculous, like 20-second cooldown on his skill. It's kind of awful to me. I bet you couldn't like mitigate it. On a mechanical level, I'm sure that I'd enjoy him in some ways, but particularly if I get newbie light, I don't think I'd want another on-field hydro damage dealer. I have Bennett here. This is not ideal, but you know what? It'll be fine because fish will do official things. Do. Blam. Official strong. Who else? Who else do I dislike in the game? To be clear, I don't nothing against you if you like Child. I really hate how they have written him in game. I think he'd be much more interesting of a character if they didn't feel the need to write him. Oh, he's actually just like a goody two shoes. He cares about his family type. That's why he does the horrible, actually horrifyingly like sociopathic shit that he does. Like he's I'm sorry. It's terrible writing, and I really dislike his character. I really, really dislike it, and I want him to stay in jail forever. So, but anyways, on a playstyle level, I wouldn't necessarily be against the idea of it, of him technically. Lenny, I just don't. I don't think I'd enjoy his playstyle. It's got cool animations. I think he's kind of interesting, but I think I'd get bored of him pretty fast. Alhaitham, I find him boring personality-wise, and I find his playstyle overly restrictive. Overly restricted. It's weird because like he's strong and he's Dendro and he has some amount of versatility, but they made him really, really want to be inclined to using him in like a specific way to keep up mirror uptime that I don't think I'd like. It'd be interesting to optimize play around him for a little bit, and then I feel like after I got used to playing him, I'd just never play him again after I got bored of him, right? Wander already talked about. Sino, I think mechanically is not... It's hard to utilize properly. There's a reason on poems only I basically never use him in Abyss. It's because like I can't really properly do anything with him. You can make it work, of course, with certain characters, but his really long burst time makes it harder than it should be, in my opinion. And it's really annoying because they could have, like, on a mechanical level, they could have made him not have this problem just by, like, having it being like, you know, Sino, like, getting rid of this line. This effect will be canceled when he leaves the field. Like, get rid of that line. Make it not be canceled when he leaves the field, and suddenly Sino is more interesting, and more flexible. Ito is interesting, but requires a lot of investment into Geo characters that at this point I don't have that much interest in doing someone like Ito on a mechanical level. But he's great personality wise, and he seems kind of fun. I just don't think I'm ever gonna like justify the resources to invest in like a Ito team. Is all that really comes down to, I would say. So, but I think he's a really fun character. Shenna's one of my favorite characters in the game. She's I don't know, on a mechanical level, I thought I would dislike her. Like I thought she wasn't gonna be useful to polearms only, because it's like restrictive. How useful is a freaking cryo buff gonna be, right? Turns out one of my favorite teams in polearms only, and Shenhe's a big part of the reason it makes it one of my favorite teams. And that team, by the way, is Zhongli, Xiangling, Rosaria, and Shenhe. It's mostly a Melt Rosaria team, but Xiangling also gets big damage in that team as well. It's not necessarily easy to build Xiangling in that team because she needs a lot of energy recharge, but it works. And it works really well, and it's super satisfying. So on a mechanical level, I think she's actually... I like how her buff works like more than I like how the likes of Bennett's buff works personally on a mechanical level. I think it's easier to use and more interesting as far as like how the buff layers with your stats and other things as far as like a damage calculation level. But I think it's really cool. I think it's a really smart way to design a niche buffer. I would change some things about her kit if I was the one in control, to be clear, but they're relatively minor things. Arguably, you could say she should be a 4-star because of niche buffers, or maybe better as 4 stars. But Yoimiya is just boring to play. I don't think I'll ever get her. Like, she's fine. I think if you like her personality, she's a decent DPS. Raiden, I have actually a lot of problems with her kit. I really don't like how she functions. I think Raiden on a character, on like a design level, you can see what they were intending with her was like, she's supposed to be like a lets your characters use your bursts more type of character, right? They wanted her to be like a flashy on-field damage dealer while also refunding energy to your teammates such that they can use their burst more. And another indication of this you can see in this like base design idea level is that she produces cooldowns with C6. Like this is the only like burst cooldown thing in the game right now, and it's not really relevant in my opinion ever. But it's a design space I really wish they would go into outside of freaking Raiden C6. But like on a base idea of Raiden being a character that lets you use characters burst more by giving them more energy or whatever, I think she's a failure in that sense, because she basically never does that. With how this game is designed, you don't usually like it. Yes, it basically just all it really does is like functionally gives your characters that you're using a team when you're using her on a team that uses her burst. It gives them a little bit more of energy recharge stats, which is super boring. I think she should have done something like her C6 is with reducing cooldowns of bursts. Should have been in her base kit, and Raiden would be really interesting. I never use Raiden on my account, on my main account, like ever. I might level her to 90 and use her with Nubilet, in like a Hyper Bloom team or like an official Electro Charge team, something like that. I don't know. We'll see. It's an option, particularly because like Nubilet might actually want the energy refunding a little bit. If I want to build more in crit stats rather than sacrificing some damage stats for energy recharge. But I think she's a failure in design idea, because my impression of her is that she was intended to be like, hey, this character lets you use your other character's burst more, and she doesn't do that. Instead, she's just a really boring hyper carry, as she is intended to be used, and then she's good at Hyper Bloom. I think hybrid Raiden is kind of really fun, so like a Quick Bloom sort Raiden is super fun, and how I would probably intend to use her, but it's hard to make that work well, so... Anyways, I tried actually recently to use Raiden for the first time ever a while ago. This is actually why my Raiden on my main account had artifacts on her at all. If anyone noticed when I was like going through my artifact screen, I had artifacts on Raiden. I tried doing Raiden and Yai for I think it's called the Raiko comp or something. Like it's Bennett, Raiden, Yai, and Kazuha, and I didn't like how it played. It felt like crap. So. Yeah, I tried it. I tried like in a full clearing. I tried full clearing the abyss, and like I don't know, I don't really like Bennett with the eye at all, and I don't think it felt very good. I didn't enjoy. I could try to do Raiden and Yai with aggravate, but I would rather use Fischl. So I think Fischl's more engaging of a character on a mechanical level to use. So Kokomi I think is good. Ayaka I think is boring. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't care for freeze. That's all that is. Eula, I think, is kind of interesting, but not great. And I don't want to ever invest the resources into a limited 5-star for someone like her. Hu Tao is interesting. I think her C1... Right. So my argument for this, to be clear, yes, C1 is a significant damage upgrade. So when I say this, which is when I'm saying C1 should be in her base kit, which is to say her charge attacks should not consume stamina in her base kit. They could have just made her charge attacks not consume stamina in her base kit, and then lower her multipliers, like lower her damage buff that she gets or whatever, to make it so that she does this, like functionally when you're maximizing the use out of like getting extra charge attacks that not having stamina consumption gives you, it's like a 20% damage upgrade for Hu Tao. But more notably, the reason I think it should be in her base, because it substantially changes how she feels to play. To me, that a C0 versus a C1 Hu Tao is not the same character as far as how they feel to play. And I far more enjoy C1 Hu Tao. I think she's a far more mentally engaging character to play. And they could have just lowered her multipliers, right? Made her do 20% less damage, given her this ability in her base kit. And then, you know, made her C1 just be 20% damage upgrade. So the end result would be that all Hu Taos, a C0, C1 Hu Tao could play the same, but a C1 Hu Tao still does 20% more damage. Like C1 Hu Tao currently does for you, but C1 Hu Tao also enables you to... like C1 Hu Tao is worth going for. It's weird because Hu Tao is more than functional without C1. I want to be very clear. She's more than functional. I just don't like how she really plays without C1. And I think it's silly that she feels as different as she does to play, and feels far better to me as far as like what my preferences are for playing the game. Whereas I like dashing, I like dashing to dodge, and I think dash canceling is really engaging to try to like do versus jump canceling. And I don't know. The point is I would rate C0 Hu Tao as a character I don't like mechanically, and C1 Hu Tao as a character I do like mechanically. And it's dumb to me that this is a problem, because like they should both be basically the same. I prefer constellations that are just boring damage upgrades, because it means like there's no reason to get them other than like you just want the damage upgrade. If you were someone who really likes Hu Tao, feeling that you need to get C1 Hu Tao to like use her as she was probably designed is super lame. That's all I can say about that. And that's the main reason I have decided I don't, because I was originally on my main account going to decide between going for Hu Tao or Nubilet, because like I could do a hyper Hu Tao that's like a no shielder Hu Tao using Kaza with Hu Tao, and like with potentially Fury in a synergy. So my thinking was, hey, I'll wish in the weapon banner. If I get Staff of Homa, I'll get Hu Tao on my main account, and if I get Nubilet's weapon, I'll get Nubi on my main account. But I've decided against that because I know well enough, like from my experience in Poems Only, that I don't think I will like playing C0 Hu Tao for very long, and I'd get annoyed. So, but I have like really good artifacts for Hu Tao on my main account. Was part of the temptation too, and yeah, I don't know. It's just unfortunate. I don't like that. I really dislike that, and it's the number one reason I potentially recommend people not pulling for Hu Tao, because there's so many other strong team options in the game. If you really like Hu Tao's personality, I like her characterization. I think she's really fun. She's a silly, goofy character. And I like a lot of her mechanics, but like, I think it's super lame. It's just awkward, right, to like recommend someone pulling for Hu Tao. She's strong and she can be fun. She can be someone you eventually would rely on for a long time and enjoy for a long time. But if you do, you're going to end up wanting getting C1 eventually, in my opinion. And that's a super lame thing to like think about, in as far as like mental investment of investing in a character where you get their C0 and knowing that in the future you're going to dump even more wishes down this character. That might not be a problem to some people. It is a problem to me, because that means sacrificing other characters to get this character to work as it seems like she was originally designed. So Ganyu, I think, she has a linear problem. At least she has burst support relevance. She's fine. Albedo, Geo character. Zhongli, I don't like shielders. Tartag, I already talked about. Klee. Dodoko, I think Klee is meh. Klee, of any character in the game, Genshin's been very good at avoiding power creep. I think Yanfei is a more mechanically interesting character than Klee. Klee, they're both not great, to be clear, but Klee is kind of fun, but I would never pull for her. If she was a 4-star, I think she'd be really cool. But she's not. And she suffers from power creep more than any other character does in the game, I'd say. As far as like mono pyro, like the most objective form of power creep that probably ever happened is Klee's most relevant comp is mono pyro. And Linny flat out like replaces Klee in Klee's slot in a mono pyro team. And it's substantially stronger. So, yeah. Klee's like the main example in Genshin, like if you could say like a character's been power crept, in my opinion. But Klee does have relevance for Vaporize, and like Linny's not as good for Vaporize, I don't think. But I don't know that much about Klee. I'm not a Klee enjoyer. I don't have that much knowledge to properly actually judge that. I think she's pretty meh. I'd never pull for her. And then there's standard banner units. So yeah, that's my thought. Venti is interesting, but I think he's a bit of cause of his existence kind of invalidates most people's need for him. Even if he's not, he's someone that like if you get Venti, you're probably never gonna like regret him, because he's going to be useful for just like being able to mindlessly clear abysses when you certain abyss chambers, but at the same time he's like completely unnecessary. So Klee C2 for Yelan support, exactly. Hi Carlos. All right, sorry for ignoring chat for a minute, but I got my brain gone on a track of thinking about characters I like and dislike. That was a very quick overview of all the things. Which things of significance happen in this stream? Nothing. This is just this is like old style tradition, because I've moved towards doing streams that are generally around a specific idea. But I felt like streaming today, and why do I still have Bennett out? I felt like streaming today, but I did not feel like who did Dender Traveler supposed to be here?
There's still a long...
I didn't have any specific idea for things to stream for in Genshin or Star Rail, so I was like, well, what do I do? And I guess I titled the stream as a nothing stream. So this stream has nothing specific. That way you expect nothing specific when you go and watch it. That's the idea of this stream. Can I not climb up the ladder? Or not the pole, not even a ladder. So we're doing nothing specific because I have nothing specific planned. That's all there is to it, which means it's kind of just a traditional rambly stream for me, where whatever chat says I get distracted by for 30 minutes like I just did for talking about characters I like and dislike. And we're done with dailies. That only took an hour. 5 stars are just mid, just main 4 stars. Honestly, yeah, it's just like that problem where I just described. Like, you can kind of see my opinions on how, like, on my main account, I have basically every 5 star that's not like newly releasing 5 stars that I could want. There's plenty of 5 stars. Hey, I'd be like, it'd be cool to mess with them, but 5 stars are so resource heavy that I'm not going to justify going for them for just like it'd be kind of cool to have them, right? That's you just can't have that mentality in Genshin unless you just want to spend a lot of money. I don't think it's a healthy way to play the game. And all in all is just like the end result, right, is why I'm in a situation where, like, I have a lot of resources on my account because I haven't wished as much, because at this point I don't really care about anyone they're rerunning. I wouldn't necessarily be against the idea of wishing for certain characters that I don't have that rerun, but they'd have to have a 4 star specifically that I really want. Like, if Farazan Constellations ended up on if Farazan ended up on Venti's banner, I'm absolutely wishing on that banner, right? But that's like unlikely to happen at this moment of time, obviously. And it's just unfortunate because, right, the characters that are on paper should be easier to acquire than the 5 stars, and oftentimes are really mechanically interesting, like Freminette, wind up on banners where it's just highly unlikely they're on a banner that I actually want the 5 star on, right? So I'm eternally in this state of like, hey, it'd be cool to have this new 4 star just to mess with, but I can't actually like justify the risk of going for them on my account because there's no guarantee system, so I can't even operate on known quantities. So I'm just like throwing my hopes into the wind and hoping that I get lucky in whatever I'm risking. And like, I still make the decision to risk something, but like, I have to like draw a line and stop and not risk any more because it's just not worth the risk, right? And if there's a guarantee system, it means I can properly evaluate the risk and properly actually, like, it's super lame that the design of characters in this game, the longer you play, the more it feels like you can't get the 4 star characters you want, the lower rarity characters, because I already have the 5 stars I want, and it's too risky to just dump all my resources in random 5 star banners just for a random 4 star that I want to mess with. It's super lame. It's super fucking shitty that like I don't know, even remember what I titled the video, the 4 star video from last week, but like it's genuinely the worst. I said in that video, it's genuinely the worst feeling I have in playing the game, and it's the worst thing I think about playing Genshin Impact as a long-term player. It's genuinely shit. I think if you're not just a whale who just wails for anything you want, the longer you play, the more you're going to feel that aspect. Let's go farm Blue Hero's Wits for a little bit. And it's a bummer. It's a bummer, because like I would love to mess with Freminette, but like I can't. I can't. I can't lose my. Like, if I try to get Freminette now on my main account, it means I'd have to spend potentially 150 like right now. When Nubilette's banner comes, I could literally, I'm at pity, and I have a guarantee. I could literally do a single pull and get Nubilette. If I do any pulls to try to get Freminette, who's just a character that seems really fun and I want to mess with, I lose my guarantee, and now it might take 150 summons to get Nubilette, and like, yeah. So I just don't, right? I don't know. It's unfortunate. It's the #1 thing I want to see change about Genshin, because like the game is designed around the characters and acquiring the characters and having fun and messing with the characters. So if I can't get the characters I want to mess with, to have fun with, it just feels shitty. That's kind of all it comes down to. Like, I just want to get the characters that seem cool, man. But I can't justify it. It doesn't make any sense. And that's super lame. And adding a guarantee system would at least allow me some mental framework to try to weigh risks properly. That's kind of all it comes down to.
Body and mind.
Got Freminette on none of your 4 accounts. That's brutal. That's completely brutal. Freminette was fun but weak. Yeah, I knew he wasn't strong. It's fine. Like, particularly when, like, on my main account, when I don't have any restrictions, I have all the, you know, core, strong, really good off-fields, and I have flexible options for good off-field damage. Regardless of what character I want to on-field, I can make Crit Kokomi work. I can make Dia Candace work together in clear in Abyss Cycle. To be clear, it depends on the Abyss Cycle. Some Abyss Cycles might be much harder. But a character being weak is not necessarily that much of a problem for me. I care much more if they're mechanically interesting. I don't mind if a character's strong, to be clear, but they don't have to be. The framework of Genshin, as far as like doing creative and fun things to me, it's not actually that important that characters have a big number. It's satisfying to have a big multiplier number for someone like Elon, where I like just, you know, making a team where I can consistently see 300k damage is satisfying, but not necessary. It's not the #1 qualifier for me to pull for a character. I care more about the creative, the fun things in the character specifically, like Freminette's interesting switching between cryo and physical damage, or the other creative things they might enable. That's the #1 selling points for any character to me at this point. Newbie-Let's actually, like, Newbie-Let's, like, legitimately, as far as, like, characters they've released, because this goes in chronological, right? Since I started playing, so I started playing when Shenhe got added to the game. That was the patch I started playing. And Yai released. I really loved Yai. Yai was not in the game when I first started playing, and I did the Inazuma story. I was like, Yai, I fucking love her. Like, I adore her personality. I actually really like her kit, too. Dendra was a dream come true for Yai synergy for me. And then, you know, there's Yelan, who's a damage dealing unit, but, like, both these are, like, on-field damage dealers. So, anyways, like, Shenhe was the start, and then, like, I got Xiao, who was a DPS unit when that was first running, when I first started playing the game. And I got Ganyu, who ran, like, a month or two after Xiao originally, in, like, 2.5 or whatever. And it's on my main account, so they're not, I don't have them here. And then after that, as far as, like, 5 stars that have interested me that they released, there's not been a single, like, on-field damage dealer that's interested me at all in Genshin. And so Newbie-Let's actually the first one, believe it or not, because other than Xiao and Ganyu. And Xiao and Ganyu just were like, I was a new player and didn't even know what I actually liked in the game. or what I would end up liking in the game, which is fine. I don't really regret them that much. The only one I really regret is honestly just Priden. So, I don't know, anyways. Did he really just throw an electric bottle the moment I put my burst down? God, this is why I really don't like Dendro Traveler because of that. It's freaking awful. Whether because I accidentally trigger Electro on it by, like, using Kuki's skill or something, or because that crap happens.
Scatter. Bond is strong.
Wrong character. Blam. Alright. So, yeah, Newbie-Let's actually the first on-field DPS that I've been interested in. He's got fun, super fun flavor. He is a playstyle that I'm pretty confident I'm going to enjoy because I enjoy, like, the big thing with Newbie-Let, right? I get really annoyed when Genshin's auto-targeting jank asks with things. If I have to restart an Abyss cycle because Genshin auto-targeting jank forces me to, I was going to go up here, but that's up a cliff. So, actually, wait, it's not up that much of a cliff, is it? No, it kind of is. I don't know how high that cliff is. Alright, if this cliff is annoyingly high to climb to, it seems like it's fine. Okay, if this cliff was annoyingly high to climb to, I was going to go do the other ley line, the more ley line. But yeah, anyways, yeah, versatility is greater than power level. Versatility is power level in Genshin, in my opinion. Like, Genshin is a game where you use 4 characters at a time. The characters that are more versatile are the characters that are more off-field, right? In some form, some mechanic of what they do works while they're off-field. And that means, the reason for that is because you have a team full of 4 characters. One of them is active at any one time. It means 3 out of 4 characters are off-field. Therefore, off-field characters are more versatile. Because 3/4 of your team is off-field at any time. It's not to say you need all 4 members of your team to be completely off-field. Sorry, all 3 out of 4 members of your team don't have to be all off-field. But every team in Genshin basically needs some amount of off-field presence, whether it be off-field for buffing utility or whatever, right? And generally, the best Genshin teams deal damage from off-field mechanics. And that's how you can make the most teams just function in general in the game. Because 3/4 of your characters are off-field. So yes, off-field versatility is power level, in my opinion. The most powerful characters are the ones that have the most versatility. Yeah, so... Doing big damage numbers is fun for seeing big damage numbers, but it's not what makes characters strong. That's what makes characters show big numbers on the screen. Big numbers on the screen doesn't mean strong, though. So, anyways. Let's go to Thundering Fury. Lania is kind of a pain to play if you don't have a shield. Yeah. They seem to be wanting to make a number of units like that. Almost like they're trying to sell their shielding Archon. Weird. Who knew? Alright. Thundering Fury domain. This domain sucks. I hate it. I want to be free from it, but we're never going to be free from it, so it's fine. In case anyone just joined the stream, we're farming Thundering Fury on weapons only because we're trying to do Thundering Fury Bennett in the future, hopefully, soon. And we need circlets and we need flowers. That's basically what we need. It's definitely gonna get. Oh, yeah, I did. Okay, yeah, figured. I didn't have burst up, so I figured that was 100. Or I was dumb there, basically. If I do this smartly, I can definitely clear the slime wave without a problem. And, anyways, I bungled. Oh, God. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna wait for this to reset. You not sit on my thing? Good, I activated the Hydron at least. Okay. And we bully this lady until she dies. And then we get to deal with the annoying one that spawns all the stupid birds. Yep. And here's where we can see Genshin auto-targeting being jank. Oh yeah, so back onto like why I think I'm pretty confident I'll like Nuvilet. Because I already talked about early in the stream his flexibility, right? The fact that he, so basically Nuvilet functions, but he drops, you use his skill, when his skill hits an enemy, it creates 3 source water droplets, and then when you do his charge attack, he looks for those droplets around him, and he gets like an instant charge up of his charge attack. And he uses burst, and it generates 6 of those droplets. So in total, like I don't need feathers. I really don't need feathers. I actually have 2 competent options. I really don't need feathers. One really good option and one semi-competent option for Thundering Fury Bennett. So the feathers are the one main thing I do not need. Timepieces I could use too, but I think I need an EM crit timepiece on Thundering Fury Bennett. So it's unlikely I'm going to be able to do that. And I have an onset goblet already, so I can use an off piece basically. I forgot to use Xingqiu's burst. Slightly important. But yeah, Nuvilet lets you control his charge attack, right? And it means there's no Genshin auto-targeting jank with Nuvilet. So I'm fairly confident. I really bungled this. Yeah, I'm quite confident I will enjoy how Nuvilet plays. So, I'm still worried about the fact that his completely on-field application means I'm going to get bored of him eventually and just lean towards not using him. But I don't know. I'm just gonna go with my gut. He seems interesting and fun to mess around with, so and I have the resources to get him, why not get him and have fun messing around with a new character? A new DPS character for the first time in like forever on my main account. By the way, I really want a level 90 Dendro Traveler on weapons only, because I basically reconfigured their build to have like a proper decent amount of energy recharge and also like the correct other main stats. And like I just accidentally had some decent DPS pieces to put on Dendro Traveler. So I've actually got, where's my mouse? There's this. I've actually got, I think, what is like a 60% crit rate? Yeah, 54% crit rate, 120 crit damage with 258 ER. Like, Dendro Traveler with, like, spread damage at level 90 would be doing not insignificant damage on this build. And it's so expensive to level 90 characters. I can't justify it. So that sucks. Hi, dude. Yeah, HP timepiece. Let's go. But yeah, I don't know. Nubilet seems pretty well designed, honestly. For as far as like them making on-field units, it's kind of like what I would like to see, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna enjoy him. So I plan to get him. I might have a dedicated video for wishing for him out on this weekend, alongside the polearms only video, or it might just be inside of the polearms video at like as a bonus thing at the end of it. Depends if I decide to wish him the weapon banner for his weapon or not. And if I can make it, a full video in general, basically. But if it's just like summoning Nubilet and summoning his weapon, it probably is not a full video, right? God dang it! I'm talking and I'm not thinking about what I'm doing. Frick. I absolutely should be able to kill all these slimes if I'm playing good, without having to do a whole nother rotation. But it's fine. It's fine. I'm only wasting your time. Bye, please. Alright. Hey, thanks for coming in the Dendro. I hate how Xingqiu and Dendro Traveler don't quite line up perfectly. There we go. DMC E has hard, trust me. Yeah, I don't know what level I have their E at. 7. I did level it up a little bit just because it has a high multiplier. I haven't leveled it up anymore because I don't have any fungus. I could level it up more, and there maybe is a reason to level it up more, but anyways, the main thing that could actually meaningfully improve DMC's damage is just being able to stop giving me feathers. Is just being able to have them do meaningful spread damage, because right now most of their damage is just from their raw multipliers. I waste my time however I want it to be wasted. True. I do the same, and then I'm like, where did the day go? I could have done all these productive things with the day, and instead I like watched this anime. This week I I don't know why I did this. I have no idea why I did this. I rewatched there we go. That was properly clearing that, by the way. But now I have to wait for cooldowns a little bit. I rewatched the Plastic Memories anime. I don't know why. I probably saw it in a random ass Reddit comment or something, and my brain was like, I want to be sad. So I rewatched Plastic Memories. And honestly, it was actually, I think, better on a rewatch. I originally watched it like 6-7 years ago or something when Plastic Memories like originally was out, or close to when it was originally out. And oh great, now I don't have energy for the. I was dumb. I wasn't thinking. So anyways, Plastic Memories is a good anime. But like I could have been much more productive this week, and like instead I watched Plastic Memories. Stop! I don't need feathers. I don't need goblets either. Ugh, I just need circlets and flowers and pieces, and I've only got feathers. Ugh. This game. Anyways, so yeah. Plastic Memories, if you want to watch an anime that will make you sad. I think it's pretty well written. I like the concept. That's all it comes down to. I don't have DMC's burst up, so this is not going to work properly. Now everything's going to be all out of whack. Oh boy. Oh, I don't have Hydro up. Okay, It's fine. Whatever. Just gonna bungle my entire rotations up. It's fine. This team is annoyingly rotation dependent. It's kind of awful, to be honest. No, why? What? Why? Where are you? Can you stop teleporting? God. I shouldn't have used Kuki's skill there, because now I'm gonna not be able to do things properly, but it's fine. Whatever, it's fine. Yep, so you got Electro on it. Oh well. Can you stop? Lady. Genshin auto-targeting. See, that's why I like Nubilet, because I won't be like BS like this, where like Dendro Traveler targets her, and then like, hey, good, Dendro Traveler targeted her instead of like the 20 bugs. But then she teleported as I used the ability, so like, oh, freaking Jesus Christ. So having a character that I don't have to engage with Genshin's jank auto-targeting system, it's honestly, oh my god, can you actually stop game? I don't need feathers. Yeah, like, the biggest awful thing that I experienced with Genshin's auto-targeting system is particularly like AoE abilities that auto-target. Like Rosaria's burst is the #1 most awful thing about Rosaria, where like, hey, there's 4 enemies around, hey, there's an enemy right here, there's an enemy at this torch, enemy here, and like I'm here with Rosaria and I use my burst, and like I would hope, you would think Genshin would have logic where like, hey, I'm aiming towards this, and this, pretend this pillar is an enemy, right? I'm aiming towards this enemy, I'm looking towards it with the camera. Is Genshin's auto-targeting gonna choose to put the burst on that enemy? Like, that's the least they could do as far as Genshin auto-targeting logic. No, it's just gonna be like, I'm gonna put it over here instead on this one slime. And then like, this is not, then this, and then like the AoE of like Shenhe's burst and Rosaria's burst don't line up, and I just like, I'm like, stop. Like, and then on top of that, right, the fact that AoE moves just, instead of AoE, like what they should do for AoE moves that auto-target is AoE moves should target, right, this would be super simple geometry calculation. It would take there's probably numerous smart people in Genshin that are good coders that it would take minutes for them to code this. Where like you have logic where, hey, there's you have an ability that it's programmed to have, you know, Rosaria's burst, right? It has a certain range. So like, pretend like the center of Rosaria's burst is on this fire. It has a range that goes out to like here, right, in a circle. And so it could calculate when you activate the ability. It does a quick calculations of seeing, okay, there is 3 hilly trails. There's 3 enemies here. Where should we place the center of the circle such that it maximizes hitting the most enemies at the same time? And that's where the auto-targeting places the burst down, right? So it tries to place it maximizing hitting the most enemies. Something like that could be the auto-targeting logic instead of the jank mess that we have. So anyways, I really hate Genshin's auto-targeting, especially with AoE moves. It's awful. It's absolutely awful. And I don't understand why they don't give it some form of logic that gives like some amount of player control. Like, the best thing would just be something really simple. Like, you don't have to do like the math thing that I suggested there. Just do something like heavily prioritize putting the burst down where I'm aiming my camera. Jesus. So anyways, because playing Geometry Impact, it sucks. Especially when, like, it's one thing to play Geometry Impact, right, when you have to like put Dendro Traveler's burst down, but at least Dendro Traveler's burst just always places it right down in one spot. Like, you know where it's gonna go. So it doesn't have the auto-targeting issue. But you still have to play Geometry Impact of like other abilities potentially that have AoEs that like layer on top of a thing that's sitting in one spot, and it's annoying. And having an auto-targeting so having Geometry Impact on top of the auto-targeting issue, just targeting something random, and it just, it's absolutely awful. Like, my Melt Rosaria team, it's by far the worst aspect of my Melt Rosaria team on polearms only, but it's mitigated by the fact that Xiangling is overpowered. And Xiangling follows you, so that even if something happens where like, it doesn't place it where I can get like melts off of Rosaria, well then it's applying cryo to enemies such that I can get melts off of Xiangling, which will be big damage regardless. So it's very heavily mitigated, but that team is specifically kind of like functions in a way that mitigates that issue, essentially. I could do Abyss on weapons only, but I really am not in the mood for it, I don't think. So, anyways, oh, and you know what, let's strongbox. Yeah, like, God, auto-targeting with AoE moves is so awful. It's really awful. But, and anyway, Newbie Lad doesn't have that, hence why I'm pretty sure I'm gonna like him. And he has enough interesting team options that I think he'd be fun to mess with. So I'm gonna get the boy. But yeah, why is his normal attack voice line so freaking angry though? Like what's wrong with him? Why he's so angry? Like I think I know people in the Reddit thread I saw. Cool. People in the Reddit thread. Do I have anything more to do in Genshin now? I think I'm like all done with Genshin for the day. You know, let's do bounties on this account because I need the more. Oh, we haven't gone to our teapot. Whoops, I always forget about the teapot, man. What was it saying? Would R5 Fav or R1 Blackcliff do more damage on Raiden? I mean, the refinements on Fab don't matter for damage. Honestly, and if you're for Raiden, if you're putting Fav on her, refinements don't matter in general. I'm assuming you're not using the catch on Raiden because you want to use the catch on Xiangling. If you're not using the catch on Xiangling, go fishing for the catch and use the catch on Raiden. And that's my opinion. But Fav is probably what my choice would likely be between those two. You want Abyss content? I'm really not in the mood for Abyss, but I don't know. If you guys want to see Abyss, I can do Abyss. I don't really want to do Abyss though. I'm stockpiling Heroes Wits. I have 373, but like I said, I wanted to like for Thundering Fury Bennett, I'm going to want to level 90 Bennett because Bennett gets a lot of overloads in Thundering Fury Bennett. And overload damage is based on base level, so I want to level 90 Bennett for that. I would like to level 90 Traveler at some point. I want to level up Yun Jin, and then, yeah, so, anyways, I'm trying to stockpile some Heroes Wits. Wish I had time to fish for the catch. Well, fish for the catch. Find the time. It doesn't take that much time. Like, it takes a lot of time, like, additively. But remember, like, the fish, you don't have to go and fish for the catch and get R5 in one day. If you want to lose your mind going through co-op and trying to fish in one day, you can do that. I don't recommend it. If you just take a month and remember every 3 days when the fish respawn to, like, you know, go to this spot where the purple fish spawns and then mark the couple places on the map where, like, I think you need the koi or something. Like, mark the fishes on the map where there's the koi here and whatever so you can get the catch. It will take you, like, 2 weeks to a month, I think, of just getting the fish from your own world. And it's not going to take that much time. It really doesn't take that much, feel like it takes that much time when you spread it out like that. Just do that. That's my recommendation. And if you don't have time to do that, I feel like you probably don't have time to do any Genshin daily things in general. But I don't know. Like between Blackcliff and Fab though, it would depend on your artifacts. If you have enough energy recharge on your Raiden, such that like you can use a crit damage substat weapon, I would probably say use Blackcliff. But if you don't have enough energy, if you don't have artifacts that have a bunch of energy recharge, you can do Fav, which is going to give you the energy recharge from Fav's passive. It has a decent high base attack. A high base attack, I think it's 565, right, if I recall, at level 90. And on top of that, it gives you extra energy, reducing Raiden's ER. Like, I don't know what Raiden's ER needs are with a Fav Lance, but I'm pretty sure a Raiden with Fav Lance could probably fairly easily get away with an attack percent timepiece, versus like a Blackcliff pull. Raiden is probably almost assuredly going to need an ER timepiece, right? So I think Fav Lance is going to be better. Plus, Fav Lance benefits your other teams by giving ER to other characters. So I would personally be inclined between those two to do Fav Lance. Ew. No, we're not doing electro crystals. Alright, you are... Okay, I don't know where you are, but... You are over here, right? Yep, okay. I paid my sister to fish for the catch, yeah. So, I don't know. Anyways, Weeb Trash Man, great username. You know your time better than I do, but I feel like if you're so time crunched that you don't think you wouldn't have time to get the catch until the summer, I feel like you don't have much time to play Genshin at all. That's just my general vibe, and this is like a annoyingly grindy time sink of a game, right? As far as like grindy over time. Well, you know what? Here, Whoops, I just went to studio mode by accident on OBS. Start recording. I forgot I had a wish. Just in case. Gotta use this. Gotta record it in case it shows up in a weapons only episode. It's probably not. Yeah, nothing. Okay. Well, exciting. Stop recording. Blam. How exciting. Yep. Anyways. Oh, no. For those that care, I am not intending to wish on the Staff of Homa and Nubilet banner. I'd rather save at this point in weapons only. I've got other content planned, and I would like to save some wishes. Like, Staff of Homa and Nubilet's weapon, neither of them are very good. And we'll see what Furina's sword ends up looking like, but if Furina's sword ends up being... I really hope it's not paired with Baiju's weapon. I really hope it's not paired with Baiju's weapon, but if it's a crit heavy sword, I do not have any crit heavy sword in weapons only, so that's like what I would really like to save for. I sincerely hope it's not paired with Baiju's donut. I'll be so sad. Oh boy. We'll see though. We'll see though. Or Jade Cutter could just rerun anytime in the next 20 years and I'd be happy with that. Anyways, let's go talk to this lady, give her some freaking rocks. You fished for the secret book pages. It was really fun. You got Zhongli even if I don't want him, and now he's saying his idol every 2 seconds. Yep. Osmanthus wine tastes just like he remembers. I am running out of iron. Oh no. You didn't get Xingqiu from the shop yet? You're thinking Fav? Yeah, I'd recommend Fav personally. But it depends on your artifacts. If you got good artifacts that make sense to do Blackcliff might be better. It just depends on your artifacts, but I think it's more likely Fav is going to be better. Plus Fav gives you the ability to do attack percent type piece, which is interesting. It should let you do that. As far as Xingqiu from the shop goes, I'm leaning towards not. That post was... I put a poll there as a way for like people to gauge people's interest in a vague way. The poll wasn't like... I want to be very clear. The poll that I did on YouTube for whether or not I get Xingqiu from the shop here was not... oh, I am 100% getting what you guys vote for. I'm... At this moment, I'm leaning towards just saving the Star Glitter. Not necessarily just for Bennett. Bennett would be a maybe. It would depend. Like, because by the time Bennett comes back, we'll have probably wished on another weapon banner. If I happen to get like a copy of Bennett from the weapon banner, so I get C4 Bennett from the weapon banner, and then I can get C5 Bennett in November, I will buy Bennett, right? But for now, I honestly think I'd rather save for... I don't even know if I'm going to continue Polearms only much past this year, to be completely honest. But I would much rather... my Shangli build is honestly kind of gross on this account. Like, what the F, man? Like, this is disgusting. Like, for real. How? Like, this is a gross Shangli build. For real. Anyways. What was it saying? I just had a stroke. Shangling C4 is by far the biggest difference maker. The problem is, like, it's weird, right? If I get two Shanglings from the shop in the next year, right, at C2, and I get one from the Liyue selector, that's C3 Shangling, right? So, like, if I am playing the game into next year, C4 Shangling is acquirable with one lucky Shangling from the weapon banner or the standard banner. And then on top of that, potentially just saving it because it would be really... I really, really wish I had gotten enough, but I unfortunately didn't plan for it. I just forgot to. I didn't plan to try to get Star Glitter for Beto in August, and I didn't have enough Star Glitter to get C1 Beto in August. C2 Beto makes Beto a very relevant character. And that's another option, right? So if again, same thing, like if I happen to get a lucky Beto from the selector, the selector. Actually, getting Beto from the selector is an option too in January. I could get C1 Beto and then buy a copy of Beto in February, I believe is when Beto's next back. So I could feasibly get C2 Beto. And I don't know. I've been very liberal with using my Star Glitter up to this point in weapons only. And that's what resulted in me not being able to get I bought Xingqiu in the first place. I bought Fischl in the first place from the Star Glitter shop. Like, I've been pretty liberal with using my Star Glitter, but because of that, I don't want to keep being just using every bit of Star Glitter for every relevant thing. Xingqiu is weird because like he has a number of relevant constellations. But it's like Xingqiu's more functional at C0 than Xiangling is at C0 in my opinion. Xiangling is weird because I want all the way to C4, but it's still feasible to potentially happen if I get one copy of her from a banner. And then Beidou is actually feasible to get C2 as well. And like, so I'm just going to be smart and save it. I think at this point is what I'm leaning towards. It doesn't make any difference at all right now. If I had C1 Xingqiu right now, like I had just gotten C1 Xingqiu from a banner randomly, I would absolutely buy C2 Xingqiu. But, because it would make a difference. I think I would notice it, but not enough of one to justify it. So at this point, I think it just makes sense to save. That's all it comes down to. What's happened in the stream? I have done a lot of random daily things and rambled about a lot of newbie-let things and other random things about Genshin. It's been a fairly traditional stream for me as far as like what I used to stream like. I've been trying to transition towards doing streams that are more focused in nature, but this stream was, I had no specific plan going on, so it's a nothing stream. There's nothing of notable note is planned. I'm just kind of talking about things that I'm not gonna make a dedicated video for, whatever. And yep, it's just, this is a Twitch style stream on YouTube, which I keep on like, you know, it's weird. I stopped putting my Twitch in my I stopped putting my Twitch in my YouTube descriptions, my video descriptions, but I still randomly get like notifications from Twitch being like, you got a new follower, like multiple times a week, and I'm just like, where are you people coming from? Are they? I'm assuming it's just like people watching older videos that have the Twitch in the description still. Speaking of which, I need to like fix a lot of the description from a lot of my older videos, because I've stopped putting a crap ton of hashtags in my videos for like months now. But a lot of my older videos, I should remove them because, anyway, whatever. It's fine. Yaoyao's in the selector. Yeah, Yaoyao is a choice too, but like, we already have Yaoyao, so yeah. I could get, you know, constellations, but Is your Toma build? If yes, can I see his build? No, this is weapons only. Toma's not build. I could show you my Toma build on polearms only, but polearms only, he's basically on full EM Gilded Dreams. Actually, he has an ER. He has an ER timepiece, I think, right now. Or no, and actually no. I think I put him on Fav with full EM on Gilded Dreams. Yeah. He has like I think 700 EM on full EM Gilded Dreams with Fav as his weapon, and it's meant to be a mostly a virgin build, right? I do have the option of doing a shield focus build for Toma as well, but I prefer the virgin utility. Yes, this is weapons only. Have or will you ever do anything co-op related? I have. I've considered recently doing another co-op stream. I just I got the thing that happened a few streams back where I got spooked by like the weird Russian in-game mail. Turned out to just be because someone used my UID for like the returning to Genshin thingy, which was weird because like I don't even know why my account qualified for that to be used. As, yeah, the point is someone used my UID. Can I stop getting perma-stunned? God, this is freaking. What was it saying? So anyways, I got spooked, that's why I hide the UID right now, but it turned out to be fine. It wasn't like my account being hacked or anything. It was just some person in Russia using my UID for the stupid thing that they were doing. I think I probably still have the emails here. No, I don't. I don't see them. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I don't see them. Okay, it's fine. But anyways, it was like a month ago I got spooked by that, and that's why I'm hiding my UID now. I might do a stream and or a video that's like at some point titled "Is Co-op Better in Fontaine?" Is what I've been leading towards doing at some point here, but I haven't been in the mood to do it. I don't know. If I feel like streaming tomorrow, maybe I'll do it tomorrow. That's what I'll say. I think Genshin co-op is pretty badly designed, and if I'm going to do co-op, I just feel like I have to have some kind of idea to do in co-op just to make it fun. And I'm not used to trying to think of ideas for co-op. So if you have some kind of idea that would make for a fun stream and or video, feel free to let me know. Feel free to ping me on Discord. You can message me. I do read messages people send me, but I don't respond to them all, to be very clear. Because not all of them are worth responding to. A lot of people, if I respond to messages, seem to take, you know, oh, I responded to one of your messages or something once, and then they're like, oh, now I can just message you all the time, and you're going to respond to every single message I send, right? No, I don't have time. I'm sorry. I don't have time to do that. You're not suddenly my close friend that I correspond with on an active basis just because I responded to one of your messages. I want to disclaim that. But my inbox is technically open. If you have ideas. So, yeah. I don't know. Help me have ideas for co-op, because I'm not used to thinking about Genshin in a co-op framework, and my co-op experience in Genshin is relatively... generally speaking, I'd say relatively negative. I think... I like the co-op in this game is so... Oh, okay. I didn't realize I did 3. It is kind of so bad that I honestly think it's almost false advertising, because I've seen advertisements in Genshin where it's like, you can go on an adventure with your friends. I'm like, no, you really can't. You can't really play this game with your friends that much. You can do daily farming with your friends. But daily farming is actually worse with your friends once you actually understand any meaningful thing about the game and start building characters properly. It just is slower and worse. The game just fundamentally doesn't work as they have designed it in co-op, in my opinion. The game is designed around switching characters, and you can't switch characters in co-op. So, yeah. It's potentially fun for, I don't know. Maybe we'll do a... I could do the stupid generic videos that the likes of, I maybe shouldn't insult the big Genshin YouTubers, but I find these videos to be fairly generic, I'm sorry. I have not watched them in a long time, because they're nothing videos. But the videos were like, the 4 newbie-lets destroy the world in co-op. Like, cool. Like... Yeah, Genshin Overworld is like real complicated, and it's real hard to, you know, destroy the world with. And Nuvilet in particular would be like a nonsense one. Like, there's nothing difficult about Nuvilet, like 4 Nuvilets in co-op, because Nuvilet heals himself decently well. So if you do like prototype Amber Nuvilet in co-op, you're gonna have 0 problems in co-op. Like, so that could be a fun, goofy video. I don't know. Maybe I'll jot that note down though. We'll do 4 Nuvilets versus the world. I guess the main gimmick of that video would be 4 Nuvilets versus Vivian. That would be interesting. That would actually be kind of funny. How much HP does Vivian have more? I didn't even think about that. Does Vivian? I'm assuming someone in chat knows. Does Vivian have more HP in co-op than in single player? Because like Vivian has a nonsensically high amount of HP in not co-op. If she has the co-op multiplier for HP, whoa, doing 4 Nuvilets with like so the way that you'd have to do 4 Nuvilets right in against Vivian would be this is not catalysts, would be with like prototype Skyward Atlas or Aya Perception, right? Which the benefit of it is that like you wouldn't, and the nice thing is like you wouldn't have to level up Aya Perception to do this, because Nubilet's or wait, actually no, you would, because this is based off attack, so you would. Never mind, I lied. You would want to level up Aya Perception, but I don't know. Point is, we could do a goofy thing like that. Yeah, Vivian gets more in co-op. All right. Though that's what we can do. I'll jot that down as a note. 4 Nuvilets versus Vivian. So if you're planning on getting Nuvilet and building him this week, it's probably not going to be a video this week. It might be something I do like next, by next weekend. Like the next week is just going to be like wishing videos or whatever. It's going to take me a bit to like level up Nuvilet because I haven't pre-farmed or anything. But we'll maybe do a co-op stream. So 4 Nuvilets versus Vivian would be the end goal of the stream. Oh god, it's gonna be 2 hours of trying to. Oh, it's gonna be awful. Actually awful. Someone could be on prototype Amber though to keep on like ulting to keep people alive, Like, I think it can actually work. It can genuinely work, but oh, it's gonna be awful. Actually awful. Is there a thing up here? I see a thing on the map. Oh, what? I expected an Oculus and I got a dude. My day is ruined. Is it on top of the roof? It's probably on the roof, isn't it? No. Where is it? What? Where's this freaking thing? Is it underground? Okay, well, I don't care about it then. Screw that freaking Oculus. Alright, we gotta go do one more bounty, I think. Or not bounty, thingy. But not the Inazuma one, because the Inazuma wanted electric crystals. Amber main DPS one. I tried it once. It's... I don't know. I really wish Amber's C2, I believe. It was her C2 is the one where you can shoot Baron Bunny's feet. And it blows up Baron Bunny immediately. Yeah. That, in my opinion, should be in her base kit. It would make Amber interesting to play. Without that, I think she's just not a good main DPS. She's has some relevance as a burst support, particularly if you have Elegy of the End, because she can very quickly get Elegy of the End up to max stacks, if I recall, with her burst, because Elegy of the End gets stacks based on instances of individual hits, and her burst hits a bunch of times really quickly, so it very quickly gets max stacks up, and then Amber becomes a relevant buffer for your team with Elegy, and the fast pyro application can be relevant when you want it. The best example, what am I doing? The best example is if you're doing like a hyper charge attack Hu Tao with like Amber on Elegy, Kazuha, Hu Tao, and a Hydro, Xingqiu probably, and that would let you get, you know, really big numbers on Hu Tao's charge attack, but of course you don't have a shielder then. It's the kind of Hu Tao team I would definitely play, but it's we gotta go give Jerry some chicken. It's a fragile and scary build, but it's fun, like, see really big and, like, damage. Like, my logic would be, hey, if you're doing 150,000 damage per charge attack with Hu Tao, you don't really need a shield, because everything's gonna die. It's not really how it'll work, but, you can do it, potentially. But that's not a DPS build. So, it's just a goofy option for Amber to be relevant. But DPS Amber, I think, is really only relevant at C2, in my opinion. Which is unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. Alright, there we go. Blam. What a world. I think we're done. I think we've completed bounties and requests. What a world. And that's kind of it. Alright, I think we'll go... I appreciate your dedication to the meme. Yeah. What meme? Oh, Nuvilet. For Nuvilets. I mean, Vivian and Abysswin. Yeah, oh god. Probably never, I'm guessing, because Vivian is just like the Hydro Mimics attack patterns, I think. Or no, she has some special attacks that I don't think yeah, she could show up in Abyss, but I don't know, I don't know that she'd have as much HP that she would necessarily even have in Overworld, because she wouldn't be named Vivian necessarily, because she doesn't necessarily count as a boss, per se. She just might show up as a really freaking tanky, or a really hard, maybe less a tanky, but probably more just a really hard-hitting Hydro Mimic, which would be interesting. So, anyways, I don't know. We can do the 4 Nuvilet video. Actually seems kind of fun against Vivian. The kind of fun in asterisks, mind-numbing and kind of fun. I mean, but you know, it'd be a stupid video to make at the very least. So I don't know. It'd be a goofy way to do co-op with peoples, and yeah, I don't know. I could also do, like, you know, I'll let 3 people with Nuvilet in co-op, and we'll if we fail 10 times in a row, we let new people in. That'd be the kind of gimmick, because realistically, anything less than 10 times is too unrealistic to even have a chance. So, all right. Amber C2 best DPS bow, 4-piece golden or 2-piece golden, and 2-piece pyro. Kazuha, Benny, and Diona. Yeah, I if I ever remember to, I don't know, when does Amber show up in the Paimon shop? Wait, you know what? Let's see if Google can answer this. When does Amber show up in the Paimon shop rotation? Okay, Google has completely failed. Cool. I'm gonna do it manually. Paimon shop. I'm on chop rotation. I think I would just know this by now. Amber is in April and October. Okay, so I think if I recall, I have... screw it, let's just go on to my main account, I guess. If I recall, I have... I gotta log on to my main account, so give me a second here. I have C1 Amber, which means I could actually do a DPS, like, goofy skill damage Amber on my main account. Yeah, it could be fun. But I'd have to level Amber. But I have good weapons for it. I already have good artifacts for it, so it wouldn't be that hard. It'd just be a matter of leveling Amber to like level 80 and leveling her talents. It really wouldn't be that hard. So I think that'd be a fun idea. Maybe I'll add that to my notes. DPS skill Amber with C2 in October. I didn't realize she was coming back so soon. That's why I checked. I'll probably go over to Star Rail for a bit before I end the stream, by the way. 4 Hydro Travelers against Vivian, truly amazing. Yeah, but you can just do like physical. It wouldn't be that bad. Nuvilat's going to be far more miserable. Well, I don't know, it's weird. It's going to be miserable as far as like damage output, because it's going to be this... Oh, God. It like legitimately might like be a damage output with like an attack-focused build. If he heals himself well enough. Or no, you have to use charge attacks to heal him, because like the source droplets heal him. No, I guess you could use his ult and his skill, right? And that, right? Because Nuvilet heals from source droplets. You don't, and he only drains health when Nuvilet only drains health, if I recall, when you do his charge attack. So if you're trying to kill Vivian with Nuvilet, you can stay alive by nature of having creating the droplets with his skill and his burst, and then you absorb them, and there's gonna be 4 Nuvilets in co-op, so there's gonna be these droplets everywhere. We're gonna find out if there's a limit to the droplets that can spawn in the game. It's gonna be nonsense. It's honestly, Nuvilet versus Vivian is honestly a great video idea. Someone else is probably gonna do it, probably even before me, but it's fine. It might make, at the very least, for a fun one-time stream to do. Alright, let's see. Do I have C1 Amber? Please. I hope I have C1 Amber. I know I have C1 on some characters on Standard. Yes! I thought I did. Yes! Sweet, I can get C2 Amber. So, if I do... Let's see what the artifacts would look like. If I do... What did you suggest? 2-piece skill damage? 2-piece... Yeah, 2-piece, 4-piece skill damage wouldn't make sense because the 4-piece bonus on the skill set expires after 2 seconds of being on field, and that's about how long it would take to shoot Baron Bunny, so it would only make sense to do 2-piece. So do like 2-piece Pyro, 2-piece on skill damage, and let's see. So weapons, they'd probably take Fischl's bow. Do this. We could take, of course, Elon's as well, but I like the idea of Skyward Heart more, probably. Just has all the good base stats. 2-piece Pyro, 2-piece... So the awkward thing, I have really good Crimson... Oh, I have good enough... My skill damage pieces are... I have a better skill damage Feather. I have a really, really good skill damage Feather. I have 40 CD Feather. But then I also have this piece, which is a 14 crit rate, 7 crit damage, and 68. This piece is incredibly strong. It's disgusting. So for a Vape Amber, this is actually incredibly gross. I also have a really good timepiece, attack timepiece in Crimson. What do I do? I'd probably do... Alright, we'll do this. And then... We'll do... Probably this. Right? And then probably this. We'll do 2... Yeah, we'll basically just steal Fischl's 2-piece on the skill set. Oh, I didn't put a goblet on. That might help. We'll steal Dia's goblet. So 2-piece skill damage, 2-piece Crimson with Amber on Skyward Heart. She's level 50 right now, so obviously her base attack would go up a little bit. And this should be a pretty gross... Oh, that's less crit rate than I expected. I mean, I guess that's what happens when you have, a 2.7 crit rate circlet. But 80 EM. It would probably be better to do this then, theoretically. As far as consistency goes, but I don't know. For the video, I'd probably just do. If I was gonna do a video on it, I would probably just do this anyways, just because I don't know. This is gonna give a much bigger damage number. Well, I don't know, not that much bigger damage number. Honestly, the other one is just better. The other build of the crit circle is definitely better. Another option is if we try to use this, and then, this is cope too though. This is a cope piece as well. Well, I don't know. What does it look like if I do 2 piece on that? Yeah, something like that instead. There we go. Okay, that's much better, I think. Yeah. Okay, so probably do that. So do the 2-piece circlet, use this cracked piece. That's about the same amount of EM as I had before, but now with a slightly healthier crit ratio that's more satisfying. This Amber would hit for some friggin' damage. That's 150 EM. So what would it be? It'd be Amber. Frick, who would you even? I don't even know, man. Obviously Kazuha, because Kazuha go burr, I guess. Because he's broken AF. And then I'd need some Hydro, so Kokomi's probably the best that I have leveled up. Great Kokomi go. And because Yelan and Chincho, of course, are normal attack triggers. Furina, clearly, I should just do. I could do Furina. Maybe the DPS Amber will wait until I get Furina. Yeah, I'll definitely buy her from the shop, and then I could do Furina, assuming her application is good enough. It probably is fine, and then, of course, Amber. Kazuha. Who else? Bennett. Oh, duh. I forgot Bennett exists. Oops. So yeah, Bennett, Kazuha, Amber, and then Furina probably. Assuming Furina works properly, which she probably will. Like, this Amber might be hitting for some numbers. It'd be fun. I don't know. It'd be a fun option. I'd have to level her up. Oh god. Oh. It's Mondstadt domain. Ew. Okay, yeah. This is like a 2 months off video because I think I'd want to do it with the Hydro Archon. It'd be funny. It'd be funny for the first video I make with the Hydro Archon being, yeah, let's DPS Amber. Alright, we're gonna go give official her artifacts back. And that is assuredly not a build I would actually use long term. I basically guarantee you. But it'd be a fun option. Added to the list of things. Thanks for the video idea, because I definitely... Oh, that's actually not what I wanted. There we go. It's... You don't have your weapon. Blam. There we go. Yeah, perfect. Alright. Beautiful. So, yes. Anyways. DPS Amber, good option. I will buy her in the shop in a few days. Thank you for the suggestion. Top up bonus reset. Cool. I don't know why I clicked on that. Alrighty, let's go to Space Train.
Take it easy.
I think Melt is better with Amber rather than Vape. Oh, yeah, you might be right. Because, yeah, that makes sense because you're doing... You're not actually applying that much Pyro anyways. So you don't need, because normally the reason you would do reverse vape, which is, you know, have Hydro on an enemy and then hit them with Pyro, is because reverse vape means you can get 2 vapes per 1 unit of Hydro application. So if I, you know, hit enemy with Yelan once, I could get 2 vapes out of, you know, a Bennett's normal attack, or like or in Amber's case, Amber's charge attack. But because of the fact that the build would be around shooting Baron Bunnies to do a big boom on Baron Bunny, it would be better to... Yeah, I think it would be better to do Mel. But I feel like Akasha... Does Akasha have Amber? I feel like for some reason Akasha might have Amber on the leaderboards. You know what I've been considering doing, by the way, is contacting the person or people that run... I don't know if it's one person that runs Akasha.cv, and asking them how much I have to pay them to add a Candace leaderboard. I'm not joking. I have greatly considered. Okay, no, there is no Amber leaderboard on Akasha. Unfortunate. I want them to add. I really want the maker for Akasha to add more characters that are used in ways. Like I want Candace, you know, options. I want normal. I want vape Candace on leaderboards. I want C6 burst damage on leaderboards in Akasha, and I want to dominate at the top of them because my polearms only Candace is utterly disgusting. My Candace on this account is okay. She's she's okay. I should probably have a crit damage circlet on her, but I think the reason I have a crit rate circlet is just because it was heavy in ER. I don't think I have a crit damage circlet that's heavy in ER. Oh, I do. I lied. Okay, never mind. I don't know. What does her ratio look like if I put a crit damage circlet on? It looks fine. I would need to get her over 200 ER for my own brain satisfaction, but I could just level up Favlands more. I think that's worse. But, for Favlands consistency, I'm just going to keep her at 75 crit rate. We're just going to do that. I'm lazy. Anyways. You can ask for features in their server. Oh, I know, but I'd rather, like, monetarily incentivize them. If I pay them, if I pay them, then I'm like, yep, I want Candace leaderboard with, I legit, I think would pay like $100 to have a Candace leaderboard with the burst DPS Candace as well as just like infused normal attack DPS Candace. But I also want to see them do things like having Amber skill damage. Like, I don't know, it's just a fun option. So who do you do for a cryo character, I guess? Probably Rosaria is technically best, I imagine, because it's just off-field cryo, and Rosaria buffs crit rate. I don't have Rosaria built though, so I think what I would lean towards doing for Melt Amber is Cryo Traveler. No, is Ganyu, I guess. Burst support Ganyu. We'll do Noblesse Ganyu. Or Instructor's Ganyu. Instructor's Ganyu should work too because I could, well no. Would it work? I could do Bennett. I would do Bennett. And no, I would keep Bennett on Instructors. I'd probably keep Bennett on Instructors. Because I could like start with Ganyu, go Bennett on Instructors, get that buff going, and I could probably, with Bennett E into Bennett Burst, I could probably then swirl Pyro. Or no, Bennett E into Bennett Burst would still swirl Pyro with Kaza Burst. And then I hopefully would have enough cryo application with Ganyu's Burst to then melt on her skill. Right, that'd be the thinking on Amber's skill. And I have Ganyu already leveled up, so just throw Ganyu on Noblesse artifacts basically. Or any artifacts, honestly, wouldn't matter that much, but I think I have competent enough Noblesse artifacts. This is the best cryo level I have in my account, by the way. Actually, maybe I have something better. I haven't really looked at cryo goblins in forever. I mean, that could be better, I guess. That could be better. That probably is not better. That could be better. Okay, you know what? There's a decent chance if I leveled up some cryo goblets in this account, I'd get a better cryo goblet, surely. But either way, doesn't matter. I think. Yeah, I think I'd probably just throw Noblesse on her. Because I have competent enough, you know, you just need ER mostly, and then having some crit stats on a burst Noblesse Burst Ganyu would be fine. You know, either that piece for the ER, or this piece for the crit and EM, you know, either one. This one's probably slightly better. And then timepiece wise, I don't have timepieces, do I? HP, ER, HP, EM. Okay, I'd want an attack timepiece, but maybe, actually no, Ganyu, if she's solo cryo, she probably wants an ER timepiece, right? So, never mind, just throw the I could have sworn I had an ER timepiece. Why do I not have an ER timepiece on Noblesse? Okay. Well, that's fine. Well, I'd have to level up like one artifact for a Rosaria, I guess. Or I could throw her on an HP goblet. It's fine. And then I have a circlet, which would exist. It would certainly exist. That's what I'd be thinking. Anyways. But yeah, I think Rosaria would definitely be better. Wouldn't Kazuha swirl pyro with cryo with his burst? No. When you burst with Bennett. Oh well, okay. I'm standing in the water. There's water being applied to me. But oh, there we go. Now you can see. So pyro is applied. If you look right above Kazuha's health bar, that's the element applied to Kazuha. Kazuha will prioritize. Right. The infusion prioritization is pyro. Oh boy, pyro. Hydro, electro, cryo, right? Cryo is the last in the priority line. So if Kazuha has pyro applied on him from his burst, he will swirl pyro around with his burst. The only real problem that might happen from that is if it causes too much extra pyro application, such that it eats the melts that I could have gotten with I guess we can test this. Let's go the 100. If we go test, so we're just gonna do let's we can kill that team actually. Let's do this. And we'll throw Candace in here as a placeholder for the Hydro Archon. She's basically the same as the Hydro Archon. And then we'll do a Benny. And then we'll do a Kazuha. Where the Kazuha? There the Kazuha.
All right.
And then an Ambers.
Leave it to me.
Wait, why did I choose Candace? Why did my brain default to we're testing cryo? I'm a dumb brain. Don't ask my brain why I did that. It doesn't want to answer.
What are my
No.
orders?
There we go. Okay, so this is literally what the team would look like. We'll deploy. And so the basic thinking here is the basic hope would be the pyro application. Kazuha's burst can guarantee a pyro swirl without a problem. So it's very easy to guarantee at all times thanks to Bennett's burst. But the only problem would be if it steals vapes from. I want to go get my ult up without having to use a skill first. If it steals melts from Amber, right? If it's too low cryo application with Kazuha's burst up, which means that you might not want to use Kazuha's burst, which would be a significant loss in like damage, actually. But because I wouldn't have the EM buff from Kazuha. Ow. Did Bennett just die? I hope not. Okay, I don't know why I chose to use Candace. That was a dumb brain. Okay. So we're not watching for like damage or sequencing things that properly here. What we're going to try is we're going to try Ganyu, because my thinking is Ganyu EQ into Bennett. The reason I want to do into Bennett is because, well, both for Freedom Sworn buff and more importantly for instructors to get an additional 120 EM on Amber. But we need to have Pyro on the enemy to be able to. The hope is that Bennett's quick bout of Pyro application from doing E into Q, then I quickly switch to Kazuha, and I can just Kazuha E to swirl Pyro, and that's all I really need. If I don't swirl Cryo, I don't care. The goal is just to make sure I swirl Pyro so I can get VV. Right? That's the basic goal here. Yes, I know I can. You gotta remember, Bennett on the structures changes things a little bit. And we're not even testing Amber's damage here, because Amber's damage doesn't really matter. Okay, so let you do your thing.
Born of ice and frost.
Why? Oh, Jesus fucking Christ! I have frickin' Shiminawa's and Ganyu. Okay, I guess we
Access denied.
Oh my god, it uses energy every time, doesn't it?
We're way behind.
Okay. Well, we're gonna get energy on. We're just gonna get energy for Ganyu. Here we go. Okay, we're gonna teleport away. Freaking Shimenawas. You here? Put you, I guess, on the artifacts. I'd probably actually have you on. Give you that. She'd probably want a crit red circlet, by the way, in this team. But who cares? Not me. Alright, we're gonna do, and then, oh boy, we don't have, yep, we're gonna do, this, I guess. Cool. And then, this. Blam. There we go. 4-piece noblesse. Won't drain her own energy now. Ratio. Yeah, I think she wants a crit red circlet.
Next on the agenda.
4-piece emblem would be a better, like, if I was gonna use this team long term, I'd probably transition. I'd probably do 4-piece emblem instead of noblesse. Like you lose some amber damage, of course, by not having noblesse, but you gain the Ganyu damage if Ganyu is the one I'd actually stick with on this team. To be clear. Okay, do that. Do that. Alright. So I'll let him do his attack. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so, and then if I burst, you see here. Does he get cryo? Yeah, no, it does apply too much pyro. Okay, see, that's what I was thinking might happen. Kazuha's burst infusion applies too much pyro. So, I was just watching his bar up top, by the way, to see how if he had pyro on him or not. We're just gonna get our energy back. Oh, look at this. Hey, look at that crit. Really? I just got 2 crits in a row? Oh yeah, Ganyu gives herself some crit rate, doesn't she? Right, yeah, okay. Still, that was lucky. I got 2 crits in a row on this build. We're just gonna get our energy up, by the way, and then we'll do this again. We'll do this again, but the idea would be we just don't use Kazuha's burst, right? So this is just one of those teams where you don't use Kazuha's burst, basically. Kazuha is still almost assuredly best here because of elemental damage buff go, right? But this is a good example actually of a team where Kazuha's C2 doesn't do anything, right? And you also lose a lot of damage by not using Kazuha's burst. And I could try to make sure cryo is infused, of course, in Kazuha's burst instead of pyro. Now that I think about it, so it would probably look something like. So first, I'm just gonna show, right? Like, I'm just gonna show like the easier to play way to do this, and is just to not use Kazuha's burst, right? Because Bennett's quick pyro application gets rid of the cryo, such that you can do this, you can do this. He has cryo on him, but we need to swirl pyro, and we want to trigger instructors, so we triggered instructors there. You can see. Got the instructors up, so you can see extra 120 EM. And then he has pyro on him, so we can swirl the pyro, and then, we could amber and shoot Baron Bunny, right? Which I can't do right now because I don't have the C2. But then I didn't burst with Kazuha, so you can see Ganyu was applying cryo, which should be enough to be able to purposely get a melt off of, I'd assume. That'd be the hope, at least. But an option is also getting additional cryo application by trying to infuse cryo on Kazuha's burst. And we'd probably do that just by starting with swirling cryo, I guess, first. And using Kazuha's burst. And then using Bennett. We'll see if that works. I think that's how I would probably play it. And you can, of course, try to do double swirls, by the way, which could be done by, if you're in multiple enemy situations, the easiest way to get a double swirl is, have pyro on one enemy, and then, use Ganyu's E on one, and then you Kazuha swirl those two together, and you're going to get a swirl on both, right? But the main thing we want to avoid is specifically infusing Kazuha's burst with pyro, because that's too much pyro application, right? And a vaporized version of this team would probably be easier to play because it wouldn't be as much of a problem if you were using a hydro unit, because you use less of the hydro gauge Hydra that's applied to enemies when you're using Hydra. So I honestly might just use someone like Fiorina, like I was originally suggesting, instead, just to make it easier to play. And then, because I would prefer, like, having to do goofy things like avoid using Kazuo's Burst is a meaningful damage loss. Kazuo's Burst contributes a lot of damage. So, anyways, we'll see if it works. If you want to infuse Kazuo with Cryo, Diona Burst is better. That's true. I forgot about Diona. That would be an option, yes. It's just like Diona's like an okay battery with Fab, I guess. But I don't think she's gonna do anything else. Oh, she has. I forgot. Her C6 has the Elemental Mastery increase. I totally forgot about that. Okay. You know what? You're probably right. Yeah. Diona might be better than in this team. Now that I think about it. We'll try her in a second. First, we're gonna try what I mentioned here. So I do something like this, right? Alright, that's going to infuse Pyro, and then we... Oh, I forgot to do this. Whoops. Okay, I bungled that. I forgot to, you know... I wanted to do that before. Well, we're going to get our energy back. Watch this. Blam. Look at that, 6,000 damage. Why am I even playing? Oh yeah, I just need energy. Okay. Wait. I didn't get it back. Okay. There we go. Okay. Try this again. Do this properly. It's gonna be... Yeah, Diona is almost surely better. Because I believe Diona applies Cryo. Right? On Kazuo. So yeah, Bennett E, then Kazuo E, don't plunge. Diona Burst, quick swap to Kazuo Burst, then Cryo's infused. Yep, okay. C6 Diona can make up for Kazuo C2 in interruption resist. Yeah, I mean, I don't care about the interruption resist at all. Literally at all. But yes, the EM for Kazuo C2 is very relevant. Or the EM is very relevant and much stronger than Ganyu. So... Yeah, because of C6 Diona. Alright, interesting. Oh, so yeah, Diona's probably the better option then. And I actually have Diona built because I built Diona for using her with Ganyu like forever ago. So Diona is actually the other cryo character I built in this account. So lucky me. So it'd be either Diona or Fiorina is probably what I'd end up using. I want to see if this works though. Let's do this again. Slam, do this. Do this. Yep, there we go. I see I swirled Pyro, and then, yep, okay, it did work. Okay, so this would work. Right, is that a 20k with Amber with a... Well, this with a slingshot? My bad. I thought it was worse than I gave it credit for. I mean, she doesn't have a timepiece. Is there... Wait. Why did he still have Pyro on him? Oh, because the Baron Bunny exploded. Yeah, never mind. That makes sense. Okay. So, that makes sense. Plus, if you have Elegy, she can proc the passive very well. I do not have Elegy. I wish I had Elegy. I really like. I really wish that Nuvilet's weapon was paired with it. I really wish Nuvilet and Venti were running together rather than Nuvilet and Homa. They absolutely just paired Nuvilet and Hu Tao together just because they knew the weapon banner would be better bait. But in my opinion, a Nuvilet weapon plus Elegy is a far better weapon banner, because Elegy is just a better weapon than Homa. But a weapon with it's the number one weapon that has like a lot of like support utility. Like it legit is really strong. Elegy's buff is it gives a attack and 100 EM. I would really like to get Elegy actually in some point in this account. Especially for some goofy like, Elegy on Diona, but I don't think I'm going to wish on the, maybe I'll do a YOLO temple or something, but I don't think I'm going to wish on Elegy and Rio Thisley's weapon. This is a pretty poop weapon banner for me, so that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Diona can work more than well enough at just being, a Fab or sack holder, probably Fab in this team, of course, and then... Well, Sack might be better actually for the extra instance of cryo application, but anyways, she also wouldn't really care about damage at all like Ganyu, so I would just care about the ER, which is nice. And where I'm having a stroke. There we go. No, not that piece. Wait, this piece. And I do have an HP time piece, see? And if I had enough, well, I don't know if this would be enough ER, but if I had enough ER, and then that I didn't need an ER timepiece, this would be a perfect build. Crit rate, I want crit rate with ER. I have no, oh yeah, I forgot, I have like no crit rate with ER. Oh, I do have a Noblesse Circlet, I didn't realize. It does have ER, but it didn't roll into ER, which is super sad. I guess we'll equip that then, but what I guess I can do an off piece of something else, but I don't know. We'll do 5-piece Noblesse Flex, I guess, why not? So Diona, 57 crit rate with Fav, 210 ER. That seems pretty decent. Yeah, there we go, a functional Diona build. It's Risley, my bad. I don't know, his name has a W in it, so I'm sorry. Blame Rio Thisley for having a stupid name. I might continue calling him Rio just to mess with people. But I'll try to remember.
Need my help is you.
Alright. Just saw your account fixing video and my recommended came here. Thanks. Thanks for joining, Normal Human. What account fixing video? I wonder what video. Oh, was it the fixing my friend's account video? Man, I recorded that video super casually on a whim. I was just like, hey, Callie, do you mind if I log into your account and try to fix things? And I originally intended it to be like a series, but then after the fact I realized, wait, this just does not make a good series. Because, like, what would I do? I would make 20 fucking videos on, like, farming artifacts for her? Like, no. And also, like, it's not really what mattered for her. So I did the follow-up video instead of, you know, teaching Kelly the basics of Genshin, and that was basically the end of that series. I might return to her account maybe in the future, maybe. But yeah, I would have definitely. Thanks for joining. I'm glad you liked it, but I would have personally, in hindsight, made that video very differently. Instead of the very casual, quick thing that I made it originally. So, yeah. Call it W Riz Slay. Perfect. He's I can't even say Worcester shy. Whatever. He's sauce. All right. You really want Homa for your Toma. Staff of Toma, true. But Nuvilet, Rio, Thisley, Furion, and Navia. I mean, if you want all 4 of those characters, definitely do not wish in the fucking weapon banner. I wouldn't call the Homa. Wait, what am I doing? Oh, I don't have any energy. Oh boy. Okay. Hey, look at the Fab. Hey, Fab's open. Okay. Well, 200 ER is definitely enough. Good lord. Actually, wait. So, this applies cryo, right? Oh, it does not apply cryo. Okay, I thought it did. I thought Diona's burst applied cryo, but I think it's not a problem because I can do a similar sequence to what I was doing with Ganyu, but just with Diona instead, and it should work fine. Alright, so with Diona at this amount of energy, how much does she get back from her skill? And Fav. A lot, okay. And then with, you know, other teammates doing things, does she get back her energy? And this should blow up. I'm trying to like go through like what one cycle would look like kind of thing. Would that give enough energy back? Not quite. Okay, she might need a little bit more ER then. But that could be resolved just by like doing something like yeah, there you go. Yeah, here you go. Blam. Oh, can't equip during combat. Fair. Alright, let's wipe the floor with this boy. I'm not actually trying to do a proper rotation here. Blam. Look at that. I don't know why I even did this. Did it for funsies. I guess if I don't care about the shielding that much, I could just use Diona's tap. And that might be just better when I think about it in this situation. What is her tap cooldown? 6 seconds. Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably end up just doing her tap, right? That'd probably just be better. You could potentially get 2 favs per rotation. Yeah, okay. So she probably has enough ER then. On this double HP build. There's no reason not to build her anything other than HP. Like, I wouldn't necessarily need the healing, but it wouldn't be necessarily a bad thing. It would help keep her over the 50%, or keep your active character over the 50% threshold. Even though Bennett itself should be necessary, both of them are, you know, geometry impact. So, all right, what does it look like then? Let's think this through. Yeah, I know Diana's a really good energy battery, so I was just trying to think through what I would actually need exactly on her without having to like do the math on it. I generally just try to get a feel for how much energy I need on character rather than looking it up or doing the math. So this should be a plenty competent build we got going for this purpose. Yeah. Do-do-do-do-do. What did normal human ask? I missed something. I do not see what normal human asks in my bed. Oh, interesting to watch as a new player. Oh, cool. Okay. That, yeah. I think that actually makes sense why a bunch of people would be watching that video. Yeah, I don't know. I think the video, the Fixing My Friend's account video, the first one, did a decent job at, like, showing what to focus on a little bit. And sort of like building things properly. So it did an okay job, but I definitely would have had it be, I would have had it, this is a really pretty vista here, would have had it be a bit more focused in nature in hindsight. It's kind of all it came down to. So I'm not unhappy with the video. That was an interesting shift. But I just would have made it differently as well. I could have made it better. And particularly for how much attention it got, I wish I had made it better. Okay, so what does this look like? This is going to be like Diona EQ into Kazuha Swirl Cryo into probably Kazuha, specifically Kazuha Burst to Infuse Cryo into Bennett EQ into probably another Diona E, because I'll do tappies. Yeah, let's try it like that.
Let me try.
Look at you!
One with wind and cloud.
Let's light it up! Teamwork is... Yeah!
And then he would have Cryo on him, and then, you know, you would shoot Baron Bunny, which I can't do because I don't have C2, but he has Cryo on him, so he would get big damage. Yeah, it works. Alright, cool. Yep, I think this would work well. So, it deals with the problem of the weird interlacing of too much pyro and whatnot, and makes it easy to swirl. It just would Kazuha C1 ain't doing shit in this team, but it's a good example of Kazuha both C2 and C1 sometimes not being relevant because of not wanting to use them in certain ways. But that should let me get up Kazuha C2 buff, as well as, of course, the Diona EM buff. So Diona EM plus Kazuha C2 EM plus Kazuha, you know, plus Bennett buff plus Instructors means Amber on a melt with those artifacts I had before, which was not when even just joined. The artifacts were like 71 crit rate, 200 and some crit damage. With Baron Bunny on the like skill and pyro damage, if I had to guess, what is Baron Bunny's base multiplier? Just my like intuition here. Explosion damage is 120. That's actually less than I thought. Is there? I could have sworn it was for some reason more than that. Really? Okay. That's much less than I thought it was, actually. I'm gonna guess we can easily get over 100k then, because we're talking like on a melt. 100k shouldn't be a problem, right? If I properly do things. If I swirl pyro, get, you know, Amber will have something like 100 and frickin' whatever percent hydro bonus, or pyro bonus, and then the melt would be, what would the melt multiplier be? Good God. We'd have 150 EM to start on Amber, 200 EM from Kazuha, 320, so that's 320, 520. So Amber would Amber would have like 670 EM. Good God. Amber would have like 670 EM. She'd probably be around 2k attack. She has a lower base attack, I think. I don't know what her base attack is at level 80, but probably around 1800, 1900 attack at baseline, plus Bennett's attack buff. We're going to say 3000 attack. If at level 8, this is like a 200% what does it go up per? Yeah, this should be like a 200 and some percent multiplier. So, 3,000. I'm just like napkin mathing in my head real quick. 100,000 shouldn't be a problem at all. If I had to guess, it might be in the 200,000 range. Do we want to? Should we do damage calcs? I can't do this yet because I would do this in game if I could, but I don't have it leveled up. And then here, you know what? I'll commit to it. Level it up. And oh, I have a bunch. Yes, yes, sweet. Okay, I'm not gonna level it now because I don't want to save it for a video, but I don't have C2 Amber is the main problem, right? So this just doesn't really function. This is all just preparation for C2 Amber. All right, so all right, let's go to like Fontaine City. We'll get some nice background music to vibe to, and then before we switch to Star Rail, I'm going to let's do my favorite thing that I do, which is damage calculation. But we're gonna do the nice little website that I like to use, because it's a nice. This website is mostly useful for checking the individual difference, in my opinion. So I don't. This is not a website you use for calculating like team damage output, which is what actually matters. This is a website for checking like the differences of your artifacts, right? Which I think is really useful. But also for tweaking different things and seeing what's theoretically possible without having to like go through the annoying setup for things potentially. So it's a really nice website. I'll link it in chat shortly here, but let me get it loaded up. Gotta do new window. Twitter. I think about it, I've used this thing enough that I should probably send a donation to the person that set it up. Anyways, check it out. If you have a few dollars and you end up using this a lot, send the creator a few dollars, because I really like this website's interface. It's really well made. So it just presents things in a visual way that's really nice for quickly comparing things and whatnot. So let's see what Amber would have. And oh, I gotta switch it. Whoops, be a brain.
I feel like running.
Oh, it's super dim because frick. Shoot. Why is that? I know why this is doing that. The reason I'm doing that is cause frick. This is the fun of HDR, by the way. The reason it looks super dim is because I have tone mapping in OBS, so that because if I don't have the tone mapping in OBS, when like Genshin would look super blown out, like it'd look absurdly bright and look terrible. So I have OBS tone map to make HDR to SDR content, but that means content that is SDR doesn't have the bright highlights, and it maps to make it look super dim. Trying to figure out, I think, if there's a way I can fix this. Hey. I fixed it. There we go. You're welcome. Alright, sorry for that. So 80 out of 90, and we're going to C2 talents.
Come on, let's take a look.
Amber, you need to shut the frick up. I'm going to go turn off the character dialogue voices again. Blam. We just need the ambient audio in the background. Okay. So, we're going to do Skyward Harp, which I have R3 of because I cannot escape it, but it's fine. I like refinements on Skyward Harp. We're going to do level 9 talents because that's probably what I would stop at for her talents. And all right, we'll do where be the lady? Diona. I am having a stroke. There she is. And wish I had Elegy, but I don't have Elegy, so we're just gonna stick to Fabge. Elegy would be a not insignificant damage upgrade, but I doubt I'm going to go for elegy. And you are on noblesse, and then Kazuha. Where'd the Kazuha? There's that. One thing I wasn't paying attention to if I had gotten the Freedom Sworn buff up, by the way. So we'll check calcs if with Bennett that getting the Freedom Sworn buff or Bennett not getting the Freedom Sworn buff up. If Bennett got the Freedom Sworn buff up, then where's Bennett? Why is Bennett so hard to find? There he is. Okay. If Bennett got the Freedom Sworn buff up, then that is like a 25% attack, I think, which is definitely not insignificant. The charge attack bonus damage doesn't really matter for Baron Bunny, of course. And then Xiphos on Kazuha and on VV. Okay. So debuffs first. Of course, we will do VV for Pyro. And then buffs. Alright, aimed shots on weak points increase attack by 15% for 10 seconds. So technically I would want to make sure I do that, right? Because... Oh, increases Baron Bunny damage by manual detonation by 200%. Oh, that's why Baron Bunny... Okay. That's why Baron Bunny detonation is actually fun. I didn't even remember that part. Okay, so obviously that we would be doing. Aim shots on weak spots. Does anyone know you've had to do a fully charged... If you have to do a fully charged attack to get this 15% attack up, it's not worth doing, I don't think. But if it's only just an aim shot where I can just look at it and aim and plink in a weak shot, then oftentimes this is just a free 15% attack. So I'll leave it disabled for now, but we'll check with and without it. We're going to assume Diona C2, we're going to assume Kazuha C2, Kazuha because we got shenanigans going. Kazuha should end up being able to swirl for something like 1500 EM, which is ridiculous. Because he'd have like 1060 at base, plus 200, plus 200, right? So it's actually, well, we'll just say, you know what, we're just gonna say 1400. So we're gonna, like, if I'm doing things properly, right? Kind of buffs going here. Element of Burst of Bennett, of course, would be 799 base attack, if I recall, with Freedom Sworn. I think. Let me double check quick. Bennett. Oops, wrong button. Yep, 799 base attack. Okay, perfect. Level 13, and we do have C6, of course. So, you know, it's a decent attack buff. Alright, and then Xiphos, well, Xiphos doesn't matter. Yeah, and then attack increase of Freedom Sworn if I was getting it. We'll check with, you know, we're going to check with all buffs, I guess, first. And then with and without Freedom Sworn is potentially a factor, though. Alright, there we go. Okay, so that's everything that's not artifacts. Alright, so this would be full buffs, not artifacts, but without melt. And what was the artifacts I had on her? Oh, frick. I think it was... Oh, yeah, it was the circlet, this goblet. Oh, I stole Dia's goblet. Gotta fix that. Because I'm more likely to use a Dia soon than I am to use Amber, but... Alright, there we go. Oh, what was the timepiece? I forgot the time. Oh, yeah, it was... Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember. Okay. So, it was Crimson Flower. Crimson Feather. And then skill damage timepiece. Skill damage circlet. No, it was a crit damage. There we go. And then attack percent. Level 20, level 20. And then it was an off-piece goblet. Pyro damage bonus. Let's go. Alright. And let's see. The flower was 2.7 crit rate, 27.2 crit damage. And 35 EM. Look at this is the number we're focusing on, by the way, right over here. That's the crit number we could see from Baron Bunny Explosion. The average number obviously matters too, but the big number is what we're going to care about because that would be the whole point of this team. It's just seeing a big number on Baron Bunny, right? But also having it be a competent, functional build. And yeah, so 68 EM. 14.4 crit rate and 7.8 8 crit damage. And then this, I believe, was 10.1, 15.5, and another 2 rolls of EM. Yep, that was it. And then a Pyro Goblet was 13.6 crit rate and 14 crit damage. I have some good freaking artifacts. The only coat piece in this, like, only bad piece in this set would be the circlet. Which is not that bad. It's functional. We're only losing a little bit of crit rate, which, you know what, doesn't change the big number we see. It just changed the average, so it's fine. Alright, there we go. So this will be the build. With full buffs up, she would have 3,769 attack, 667 EM, 206 crit damage, and when we melt, it's going to multiply her damage by 3.794 times, assuming I had full buffs up, to be clear. And that's going to take our melt to 239,000. So, my C2 Amber with the exact characters and setup I have right now would be 239,000. How much? Oh god, I shouldn't do this because if I do this, it's going to tempt me to pull for elegy. If I do, no, it would not be an R5 elegy. If I do elegy, how much would the damage increase? It goes from 239,000 to... This will be another 16% attack and 100 EM. Jesus Christ, like, elegy is broken. That'd be another 30,000. So what matters is percentage, not just it being 30,000, right? So another 30,000 damage is what this is why I said elegy is like much better and would have been far better to pair with Nubilet's weapon. I would have preferred that at least, because lose it if you're like trying to get Homa or you're trying to get Nubilet's weapon, whichever one you prefer. Having a really strong supportive weapon as the one you might lose to is a better option because it's more relevant down the line. It's more likely to be relevant down the line than just a good DPS weapon. Not that the Homa Nubilet weapon banner is necessarily bad, but I think it's much better to have that. So that's why I'm really sad that Nubilet's weapon is not paired with elegy for me. But anyways, it's another 22,000 damage, right? So 22,000 divided by the 239, right? That's a 9.2% damage increase just from having a different weapon on Diana, assuming she triggered the passive, to be clear. I don't think I'm going to do that, but a 10% damage increase just for having a different weapon is significant. That's why elegy is strong. Yeah, elegy is kind of disgusting. I really wish it was not paired with a shite, because I have enough resources that I could have justified going for it, but I don't want fucking Real Thistly's weapon. It's kind of a piece of shit weapon to me. And I have enough decent catalyst options that it's just useless. If it was a 44 crit rate catalyst, I would greatly consider it. But it's a freaking 22 crit rate catalyst with 674 base attack, so it's just kind of garbage to me. So I doubt I'm going to go for it, but I don't know. Maybe someday. Maybe someday it'll be nice and actually pair LG with a good banner. In my opinion, the best weapon banner that was ever in this game was the LG Homa banner. And I did not play at that time. This is specifically in the context of if you wanted Homa anyways. If you didn't want Homa anyways, it's still a bad weapon banner. If you aren't very happy getting both weapons in the weapon banner, when you're like spending 70 pulls on it, you shouldn't wish on weapon banner. That's my advice, and it will remain that. Why am I having a stroke? Where is Fav? Alright, Fav is probably what we want anyways to try to help keep like energy up on Kazuha banner. Actually, honestly, it's probably not necessary to have Fav on her. So, LG would be nice. It's fine. It's fine. I wish they did more supportive weapons in general though, because like, it's weapons just being like, hey, this provides your active character damage stats, rather than providing your team some benefit, are so rare. It's really like LG, Give Caution Suit is the ones on the top of my head that they released, and it could make 5-star weapons actually much more worthwhile to go for. Because genuinely, if you have like a team that you really like, you can go for elegy to increase your team's, like the main way this team deals damage by 10%. That's huge. So, anyways, and that's huge because it's something that would work. It's not just like going for a C1 on, Nubilet to get a 10% damage upgrade on Nubilet, because that's only benefits Nubilet. Elegy for the end would be a 5-star that you could go for that benefits any team that you possibly put Elegy at the end on, right? So, anyways, that's why I wish they did more supportive weapons. That's my spiel. Back to Fav. Anyways, so what happens if we change some things here? So like, I don't know if I was actually getting Freedom Swarm bonus, for example. So if we lose the Freedom Swarm bonus, we go to 225,000. It's not insane, but it's just definitely not insignificant. That's like, it's less loss than like Elegy was if we, by not having Elegy, but it's not nothing. Also look at her chart for fully aimed charge shot damage, but her fully aimed charge shot damage, this is level 1. What would it be at level 9? 134k. I get 135k on melts. Anyways, so if we turn off like Freedom Swarm, because I don't know, Freedom Swarm is sometimes hard to get up consistently, and I haven't tested in this team whether or not Freedom Swarm's passive would consistently be up. So, and then also like I'm not sure about Amber's Ascension 4. So like if I remove that, it'd still be like 216,000, right? So we're talking about 10% less, 12% less, if I'm doing my quick maths correctly. And of course, the bigger difference, though, would be, like, Instructor is very consistent to get up. Noblesse should always be up. But sometimes due to, like, not standing in the AoE, enemies move around or whatever. Although it's easier because this is an aim shot thing to stand in the AoEs. You know, if I don't have, like, down as ult up, you know, then we're losing a whole bunch of damage. If I don't have Kazuha's ult up for the 200 EM, we're going down to 165,000. But I don't know. It still seems a really, like, a fun way to consistently get some decent damage out of Amber. I don't think... Yeah, like C4, Amber gives 1 additional charge on Baron Bunny. Like, being that Baron Bunny is a... what is its cooldown, right? So how much... The problem is, like, yes, it's a big damage number. So I want to, like, before you all go out and try to do the same thing that I'm potentially going to do for a video, this is a cooldown of 15 seconds. So that means that's 1 instance of 200 and some thousand damage every 15 seconds. Versus like this, and like yes, it might be AOE if we manage to use Kazuha and group the enemies together, and if I do it properly, I can do some AOE damage. But like Yelan, I have a vape team for Yelan where Yelan can get similar damage numbers. She can get much higher than that for me, but that's because I have constellations, whatever. If I didn't have Yelan constellations, it would be a similar situation, like similar damage numbers to Amber. My Yelan team is better because it has damage output that's not reliant on Amber, whereas a lot of this team's damage output would be very reliant on Amber and that 1 instance. So I honestly don't think the team would be very good. I want to be clear. But like Yelan, I have C1, so it's 2 skill usages, but it's also just a lower cooldown in general. It's 10 seconds. 10 seconds to get a 300,000 damage in AoE is much more significant than like many more over time, like over the course of like a 1.5-minute cycle in Abyss. Is a number more, right? Those 15 seconds would mean in an Abyss attempt in 1.5 minutes, assuming we got one every 15 seconds exactly, right? That's 6. So that's 6, and assuming every single one of them crit 6 times the like 240,000 damage, that's 1.4 million damage, which is good enough that if everything goes well and I don't get screwed by not getting a crit, can probably clear a number of Abyss cycles, particularly ones that are if AoE is favorable to me, and factoring the fact that Kazuha would also deal meaningful damage of his own. It would be functional, I think. But compared to like Yelan, who would be able to do, like it's not that hard to get 200,000 damage on Yelan's skill, unlike my goofy build, and I'm talking 200,000 damage like on a non-constellation heavy Yelan. Like my Yelan can get 350,000 consistently. So I'm going to say it's like 200,000 damage. It's every 10 seconds, which in 1.5 minutes would be 9 times 9 is 1.8 million damage, right? And notably, that's also like easier to get in a grouping because Yelan can run around and hit multiple enemies at once to do one big instance, whereas like enemies have to be grouped around Baron Bunny. So like Yelan Vape, and as far as like AoE nuke damage teams go, I think it's much stronger than Amber. But it'd be a fun video regardless, so I'll probably do it. So thanks for the idea. Anyways, hopefully that was entertaining and maybe a decent lesson for anyone in like theory crafting basics, I guess. That's really just basic. That wasn't anything that nuanced. That was just like checking what my damage would be on a theoretical level if I assume I did everything properly, and then a little bit of in-game testing combined with some basic talk on like how cooldowns kind of matter, especially when you're talking about a team that's designed around trying to get a big damage instance, right? Because The game matters more for consistent damage output rather than just one big damage instance, right? So, anyways, it's time for some Star Rail, and then that's gonna be the stream. I like doing these nothing burger streams because it's just going with the flow streams. I feel like whenever I start streams like this, I'm always like, I don't even know where I'm gonna go with this stream, and then somehow it's 3 hours later, and I'm like, oh, I've managed to just ramble on about different things for 3 hours successfully. Good job, brain. Hopefully it was decent entertainment at the very least. Little did you know that was an entire plan to get you to build Amber. I mean, it succeeded. It was something that I've realized, like, I wish... I feel like I had the thought at some point in the past. Like, I was like, dang, I wish I had an Amber constellation. And maybe it was on weapons only, I think actually. Where I was like, shoot, I wish I could, like, get Amber C2 on weapons only, if I recall. But that was months ago. And the fact that I can actually do it now on my main account is good. That's all there is to it. Anyways, down to space train. Or back to space train. Blam. Alright. And do that. And bye-bye, turtle. Is this gonna work? Star Rail? Are you gonna pop up on stream? Why doesn't it work? What's happening? Oh. Wait. It didn't work. Why didn't it work? Yeah. Why? Normally I can do this. Why isn't it showing up? Gilby. Okay. I didn't close. Oh, is that why? Then I forgot to close Genshin. I mean, that's one factor. Blam. All right. Now that Genshin is closed, does Star Rail show up? Yay! I did it. Wow. Okay. I don't know why that took so long. Sorry. Good lord. I enjoy these types of streams. I can just listen then. Yeah. Kanji, you are late. Sorry. Okay, what are we doing? I'm not doing that much. This is not gonna... Well, okay. I say this, but it's probably not gonna last long. Thank you for your express drinks, especially the bottled soda. It tastes great. I'd like to thank you on behalf of the other guards as well. How much soda do you take from us? Are there any Bella Boggian drinks you like? Moo Moo Milk. Moo Moo Milk. That kind of reminds me how Serval used to force me to drink milk every day when I was a kid. Their cheese and sour cream are not bad either. I'll get you some next time. Was Moo Moo Milk actually a real thing in the Star Wars universe? I didn't know that. I thought it was just haha funny game reference. It was gonna make it. It was gonna like send some other thing. All right. Okay. What do? You know what? I think I know what do. We do. We're gonna do the last boring thing with Pella here. Well, actually, how much this would take? 5 more. 5 times 3 is 150. Sure. We got plenty of garbage, right? Yeah, 150 there. Sweet. Yeah, we're gonna finish Stagnant Shadow here, so I can get. I'm working on Pella before Jingliu comes. Use an ultimate to deal the final blow one time. Great. I hate that. Cool. We might have to do a daily mission. Blam and blam. Doo doo doo.
We're in trouble now.
We're in trouble now, are we? Well, we're in trouble. My keyboard doesn't work. There we go. Oh, yeah, excellent. Clicked off of the window. With 5 heals, I've actually managed to throw together a decent Salsato set for Topaz. Nice. Good work. I mean, you still got plenty of time before Topaz comes. I guess that's fine. Almost killed him. Could have killed him if we had gotten a little luckier, but ish fine. Could you be slightly less rude?
Lend me your strength. Wait for the time. Come on.
And you're dead. Stagnant Shadows are so boring to do. I have nothing to comment on it. It's just like, we're just killing things. I'm just gonna plop that down to try to probably maybe heal up a little bit, maybe? Unless they just die on one hit, because we might just one cycle here. Yeah, I think we're gonna one cycle here. Actually, we are gonna one cycle here, so yeah, the Laucha ult was a waste, but you know, you're just dead. How exciting.
We're in trouble now.
Blam.
This battle is lengthening your strength.
Skill point back, good. Oh my god, we keep on getting autarky, beautiful. Alright, this will probably kill as well. Unless we don't crit. Yeah, let's go. Alright. Oh, really? Oh, wait. I did my math wrong.
We're in trouble now.
I don't know why I didn't math right. It was only multiples of 5, but that's fine. I think we'll try to convert some, because I really don't want to have to farm 5 extra when I only need 1. No, autarky. I've been scammed. Actually, we might still be able to kill if we do this. It's gonna be close. Let's try. Glad Topaz is second as I have 1 all wish. Yeah. That's good. Here we go. Good. If we don't one cycle, it's clearly a failure. Alright. One cycle that every time. Satisfying. Okie dokie. Let's go. I don't need a teleport. I feel like teleporting to this waypoint instead of walking would be like the equivalent of, like I'm the type of when I go to the grocery store to get food. I don't know why I feel like that in that context. But when I go when I go to the grocery store, I always park farther away because I'm like fine with walking a short distance to the grocery store. That's what that felt like to me. I don't need to drive to and struggle to park right near the entrance of the store when I can just spend 20 extra seconds walking. My legs will be fine. That was the same situation. Anyways. Yay. Oh, I didn't get an ultimate to deal a final blow. I forgot about that. Shoot. I should have used QQ's skill first then. Or basic attack and then ult. I forgot about that. Shooty patooties. It'll be fine. What are we doing? Oh, Pella. Send. Let's do this. And let's see. We only need 2. What is this? Wait, what is this one? Can I see what this is? I can't. Well, I'm using it. Don't care. Probably don't need it, surely. I mean, unless it was like something that I'd use for Jingliu, but I'm guessing Jingliu does not use that. I think that's like a quantum level up thing. Blam. There we go. Level up. Auto add. Blam. Oh, do I have enough to... Maybe I shouldn't have leveled 80. Whatever. Too late. A little bit too late now. Too late to regret that because I already did it. But what I was going to say, though, is I maybe shouldn't have done that because I might not actually have enough for Jingliu. Whoops. I didn't think about that. It'll be fine. I can buy the battle pass if need be. It'll be fine. That was drops for quantum characters. Good, perfect, because all my quantum characters are basically done. All right, Pella level 80. And yeah, I really probably should not have level 80. I should have like level 75 her maybe, because I don't know which one of these. If this effect hit ray trace was a level 80 trace, then I was going to anyways. I guess. But if this was a level 75 trace, I definitely should have just level 75'd. Oh well, is what it is. I should probably just farm for these. But I'd actually rather just try to figure out the relic situation. This is the current relics, by the way. My current plan is to do a goofy hybrid Pella. Pella with his light cone, and then the fact that she gets a bunch of EHI from her passives. She only needs like 2 substats worth of effect hit rate to be able to guarantee getting her. The important thing about Pella, right, is her ult gives defense shred. So she only needs like 2 effect hit rate traces or substats, which means you don't need an effect hit rate body piece if you're using the Silverwolf weapon like I am. And I should just put her on like a tanky build where she just tanks. Instead, I'm going to put her on... I have her on Keel because I have some decent... I just have some energy regen rope and then, of course, ice damage thing. And I have E6 that I got on Fushuan Banner, right? So she can actually like deal not insignificant damage. So my thinking is, try a weird hybrid. I have 2-piece speed, 2-piece Wuthering Snow, simply because it's like the right distribution of stats. Like have decent options for like crit stats. I like this double crit piece, you know. So my thinking is I can get a decent amount of crit stats and an okay amount of tank stats to hopefully try to get the right balance of like a Pella that doesn't just die, because I don't want to just like die instantaneously like Ting Yun, but also can deal some meaningful damage. So normally you would have like a HP or a defense sphere instead of an ice damage sphere kind of thing. Or you would do a defense or HP body piece to make her more tanky, just like, but I'm not, because whatever. I will probably shift away from doing this weird hybrid DPS thing if she dies a bunch, but it's as easy as just like, here we go, plop on this this HP piece right here, right, and I'm fine, and that's it. But we'll see. We'll see how this works. Hopefully. I think once I level her up, depending on what I get for like crit damage rolls or whatever on this piece or whatnot, she should be at about like 50% crit rate and probably 80 to 90 crit damage is my guess. And then she has Keel, right? So with Keel on her and then Keel on other people, getting a decent bit of extra crit damage for everyone on the team. So she might deal meaningful damage is my point. That's my idea, but might not be actually worth going into. Another option is, of course, the which I might get long term, is this set for Pella. This is quite good for her. It basically just kind of functionally gives her some free speed every other turn, every time you use her ultimate, every 2 turns. But I don't have them. I don't have good relics in that set. So, If I end up going the full tank build, then I might get this down the line, particularly because I might want this set on Jingliu down the line. But for now, I have such good of these pieces on Jingliu that I'm going to use 4-piece Musketeers, which is functionally equivalent for me as 2-piece speed, 2-piece attack, because obviously I don't care about the basic attack damage. But I also am just going to continue farming this because I could use some more pieces for Clara, because I'm going to steal Clara pieces, and I need the healing bonus pieces to try to put links. So many words. Need to put links on. Well, I don't need to, but I want to put links on the 4-piece of this healing set because she likes to open with using a skill on Clara. So you get the point. Point is, I'm gonna farm this. That was a very, very, very long-winded way to say I'm gonna farm this.
Battle is unavoidable. Lend me your strength.
Autarky. Nice. Beautiful.
We've entered the storm. To guard and defend.
Annoyingly, I don't think we're gonna get Autarky because these are just gonna die in one hit. Ew.
Let's be friends.
Schmack.
Lend me your strength.
Lend me your
Use
strength.
My turn.
There we go. And you're dead. Okay, let's see if we can one-cycle these boys.
Lend me
We
your
did.
strength.
We should still have ult up because, yep, we still have Bellabog March up. Good, good. So, skill. 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 Okay. Sure.
Look at the draw.
I guess it's fine. We'll have a big ult. I feel like that didn't crit on this dude. Darn it. We didn't one-cycle. Annoying. This is a rare instance of kind of screwing with rotations a little bit here. Obviously, it does not make sense to Branya's skill in this instance. Please match. Yeah, good. Okay. That was not much damage. That's why it is unfortunate to not Branya's skill. But whenever I can't Branya's skill, honestly, it makes sense to probably not even... When I was low on skill points anyways, like in that instance, it probably would have made more sense to just...
Lend me your strength.
I'm having a stroke. To just do a basic attack and forego that until the next cycle where Branya build up skill points and use Branya's skill. So that was the wrong decision there, to be clear.
We've entered
But
the
it's
storm.
fine.
To guard and defend.
I should have saved that for the next one, but whatever. Why did I do that?
Customers.
I didn't mean to do that. Okay, it's fine.
This battle
fine.
is unavoidable.
It's fine.
Lend me your strength.
That was the most optimal QQ play I maybe could have done. I don't think I care about that. HP boots with crit rate and effect res. I don't I don't think I need those. Alright, let's try to do this properly. Alright, do this.
You'll pay for that
Do
dragon
this.
in your strength. Wait for the task.
Skill.
They come.
Skill.
My turn.
Perfect. Alright, see if we can kill all these. We'll carry over our autarky into the next turn. There we go. Perfect. Alright.
This battle is
Probably should have used Tingyun's skill there. That was a mistake. Whatever, it's fine. And... Alright,
Thousand wonders to
do this. We have autarky, and we got damage bonus from Branya. We have Branya ult. We don't have any damage bonus from QQ's skill, because of the battle change. But this might be enough. Nope, unfortunate.
I'll see you off.
I should have used his ult before. Oh well.
This time.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's fine.
Welcome.
Not like this is hard. I had an idea, by the way, for a I'm not gonna spoil it yet because I want it to be a surprise if I ever make it. It should be a really, really fun video. It's at least fun in concept. Really? Okay. Like QQ, I just wanted you to match the tiles so we could kill him, but whatever. I could have used her ult there, but I wanted to save her ult for the next one, but it's fine. It's fine. What was I saying? I had a fun idea for Star Rail, that I think could make for a very, very good video that many people might enjoy. If this rolls speed, I will be a happy boy. Well, not I say happy. I really prefer something else that was effect res, but it could be good for Locha, so I will take that, I guess. You know what? I guess we're just gonna stop there. Did I get the ultimate thing? I don't think I did. Nope. Sad. Okay. Level up a relic one time. I can do that. Blam. Links. Relics. I should probably do her outgoing healing boost piece first, but I'd actually rather do this. So, I'm gonna do this. Because this... are you... Ugh. What? Why? Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, we're going to claim that, and then we're going to do a daily mission, and hopefully that'll give us enough to level that relic up to 15. I hate how much XP it takes to go from 12 to 15. It feels like way too much.
Got places to be? I'm your best guide.
There seems
Hello. Some of these side missions are actually not terrible, but I don't care. I'm just doing them for the rewards. I'd say they're better on average than Genshin's, because they're just written better. They don't feel as time wasty of people just telling you their life story 100 times over. I think I've done this one before though, because yeah, you're just talking to this like android lady. It's related to a quest I did before. So yeah, this was actually one of the better side quests at the start of the game. I really like this side quest relating to that dude and this lady. Yay. I feel like it was probably faster to teleport, but it's fine. I got legs, I can walk. His name is Gun. I think his name is this dude.
there seems
Hello, Gun. Yes, if I recall correctly, the side quest that I'm recalling involving that dude and her was a fairly compelling one. I quite liked it. Alright, let's see if 16 of these is enough to level up that relic. Probably not, because that just doesn't happen. Hey, it is. Wow, beautiful. Alright. I'd like HP here, I think. Literally the worst stat I could have gone into. Cool! Thanks, game. Yeah, whatever. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. I definitely should have leveled up the healing piece. It's fine. I simply was like, yay, you know what, this has a 50% chance of giving me a good stat. And it didn't. Yeah, break effect. That's what I need. Whatever. She's at 40% effect res. And she's at 143 speed. I can't complain. Transitioning her to this site is going to be a bit annoying because I'm going to need more speed stats and whatever, but yeah, because I'm losing the 2-piece speed bonus, it's fine. It'll be fine. For now, she's on hackerspace, and it's good enough. It's good enough. I'll have to level this up too. Wow. Progress. No. Alright then. Well, I think that's basically all I got for Space Trade. Not very exciting. I already cleared Mock. Don't even have anything Mock to do, and I'm not really in the mood for a Swarm Disaster, to be honest. So, Yarp? I don't know. Anyone want to see anything else quickly from me? Otherwise, I want to go eat some foods and chill for the day, because it's a Saturday. I'm probably going to read Malazan, which I probably shouldn't say, because I feel like if I say I'm reading Malazan, someone might be a jerk and spoil it. But I'll risk it. Anyways, you have until I count down to 0 and end the stream to message something for me to yell at you or ramble on about for another hour. Jing Liu soon. Well, no, in 2.5 weeks soon. But anyways. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye. Thanks for watching.